Alright, hello. I think we're just about ready to go. Hello, Kai World over on YouTube. And do I have my mods on? I don't. Let me fix that. I was testing the audio of some hacks I was doing. Alright. Let's get this loaded in. I need to get my coffee too. I'm making coffee right now. Don't let me forget my coffee, chat. And I still am working on the TTL overlay. I need to get Red Bull overlay for tomorrow and for the weekend. So I'll get a scoreboard soon. Hopefully tonight after the TTL stream I can work on that as long as the maps are okay. Meow, hello Hexacatty. How are you doing? Let's see, is anyone else casting TTL? Maybe not. Let's see, I gotta find this draft, Erie 2CM. See people practicing the Red Bull draft. Don't see a draft for this yet. Okay, scheduled for 3 minutes ago, so hopefully they get drafting soon. See if someone's around for adminning this set. Drex, good morning, Drex. How are you doing? Has anything... Yeah, Heart Vinch will be tomorrow at 15 GMT. Which unfortunately coincides with the matches of TTL I wanted to cast, but we'll work around that somehow. And tomorrow's also the day I gotta go to the DMV in the evening. Or in the late afternoon. But yeah, it was 10 degrees here this morning. And when I say that, remember, this is Fahrenheit, so that is negative Celsius for all you people who use a weird measurement system. Let's see, draft. Alright, maybe by the time I get my coffee, they'll have started drafting. So, welcome in, everyone. Hopefully they get started. We have a few sets today. If they're not going, then I'll just cast something else. We have this, and in 2 hours we'll have m0re versus Stark, and after that Goku versus Antagonist. So we should have 3 sets of TTL today. Let's just look up some maybe TTL on Wikipedia. Oh, I keep forgetting to reset the ads. Okay, Wikipedia still says this is live. Hopefully it's good. Europeans only have... Right, Fahrenheit is perfect! 0 is cold, 100 is hot. In between corresponds to cold versus hot, and it gets warmer as it increases, and it's perfect. It is perfect. I can understand people preferring meters to feet or first downs. I can understand people preferring kilograms to pounds. But Fahrenheit is so much better than Celsius, it's not even close. It's not even close. Celsius, like useful temperatures go from like -5 to 30. East Kelvin enjoyer. Yeah, so I made a couple of small updates to maps last night to fix a couple things that I didn't like that I've been seeing. A couple of small things. The big one was the bugged relic. kg and pounds don't even measure the same thing. They both measure weight. There are many different pounds, though. You have British pounds, and then they use stones instead of pounds. That's weird. And hello, Erythron. Celsius is the range of water. What? How often is that ever useful? How often do we measure the range of water? Oh, it looks like Gabby's playing some games. Let me give her a shout out. It'll be following. Oh, I want to cast her games tomorrow. It's at the same time as Red Bull, so we'll see what we do there. I don't think casting TTL during Red Bull would be a good use of time. Thank you, Silver Slide, for the follow. You like slugs. It's like the slimy slugs from Rock Raiders. Alright, so I'm still looking for these players to start their draft. I don't see a draft going on anywhere. So hopefully they're, 14 soon. I should probably go get my coffee. I also have a breakfast sandwich I need to eat. Is it one game only? The Red Bull thing? It's going to be a best of 5, apparently. It's going to be best of 5. I think the way to do it, though, would have been simply one game, Vulpine, free pick any Civ between them right at the end of the qualifier. You know it's going to be slippery outside if it's 0 or negative. Well, you know it's going to be slippery outside in Fahrenheit, too, because it's near 0. The lower end of the range, it's almost like a percentage. From 0 to 100, you go from like 0% warm to 100% warm. And when you're close to 0, then it's cold and it's slippery. Who survives longest versus ACCM Koreans. Yeah, so 15 GMT tomorrow is when the qualifier will happen. Let's see. Draft, please. Draft. Still don't see these two players drafting. They're supposed to be playing here, and it's still on the schedule. Unless Wikipedia isn't updated. The 20th. Oh, is this rescheduled now? Oh, that got rescheduled. Okay, so Right. It's rescheduled, but Wikipedia isn't updated and the dashboard isn't updated. So, we have 2 hours to kill until we get something to cast. I guess that means we'll go cast some ranked games for a while. Right. Let me update my title. Goku and Antagonist looks like it was moved too. I don't see that anymore. Being rescheduled, okay. This is at 17 GMT. Casting ranked games until then. Alright, so let me update my title then. Alright, so we'll cast some ranked games until we get there. I also need to grab my coffee, so let's just find a game. I see Gabby's streaming, so hopefully she's in a game. And perfect, I have no idea who her opponent is. But it's a Jurchen's Mirror on Arabia. And seeing maybe play all one. Capture age. Let me update my scoreboard. Ranked ladder. I have no idea who her opponent is, but remind me to put the TTL logo back on, chat. This is your responsibility. Put the TTL logo on before I cast TTL. I'll have a brief pause too. Don't see what the pause is for or who paused. A yes from Red. With the TTL, no. In an hour and 47 minutes, I need you to remind me, Roaring Moose. An hour and 47 minutes from now. That's what I need the reminder. So TTL rescheduled. Wikipedia was not updated. I wish the dashboard didn't have to rely on Wikipedia for it. Schedules, but I guess that's the only place really to pull them. There's no timer. No timer, you gotta remember yourself. Alright, well, we're paused. I guess this is a good time to eat my breakfast. One hour, 31 minutes? No, it's too soon. It's too soon.
Yes.
Alright, oh my gosh, as soon as I get my breakfast out, they decide they're gonna... Or my second breakfast. This is my second breakfast. I had one breakfast earlier. And this will also be my second coffee. So, Goose here. I don't know who Red is. Does anyone know who this is? The dashboard isn't useful because this is just their main account, it looks like. I don't see any alternative names. So this is their name apparently. So it's not like Vivi or Yo or Lix or Koala or any of the known Chinese players as far as I'm aware. It's an efficiency thing. So we'll have a Jurchen's Mirror, and I wonder if this means we'll see Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers and Siege Towers. Copy, paste into translate. Okay, we will do that. And what if it's just like a name and there's nothing that it translates to? Okay, detect language to English. Translates to... I'll show the translation. This is not going to be helpful for us at all. Display capture. Translates to Northern Capital Marshal. Should I know who this is? Is this like a historical person? Well, that is my attempt to figure out what it is. (18x), probably an unknown Chinese. Yeah, oh yeah, this is a huge mismatch then for Gabby. You're gonna see Gabby do some domination. I wonder if Gabby's gonna go Siege Tower Lancer, like maybe FC Siege Tower Lancer. Or she might be more aggressive than that in Feudal. But if you're against this big of an ELA difference, time to try out the meme strategies. I know Spec Dashboard just gives me this account. So it doesn't seem to be a known Chinese player then, or at least not one of the ones we'd recognize from tournaments. I like knowing who players are, but it's much easier if I at least have a name that I have some idea how to pronounce. As the 7th Emperor of the Jurchen-led Jin Dynasty of China. Can we do picks right now? Wait, can we do... sometimes it tracks other players if they're high on the ladder or well-known. Oh, he force-picked Jurchens. Oh my gosh, we're learning about history then. He force-picked Jurchens and named himself after the 7th Emperor of the Jurchen-led Jin Dynasty of China. Okay, this is thematically appropriate. Oh, we're consistent here. Oh, that's perfect. Is Lamo playing against Cosmonaut now? No, that got rescheduled. Unfortunately. I put that in my schedule last night. Woke up, all ready to cast it. Scheduled my morning appointment, so I was home in time, and it's rescheduled. But we'll have another set in a little over an hour and a half. And Gabby is playing some ranked games, so we'll cast some ranked games anyway. So Loom on the way for our Jurchen Emperor here. And 21 pop-up. 21 pop-up, kind of slow for an uptiming, so I wonder if he has anything special planned. His gold is pretty far forward. Second gold also in front of that. And third gold to the rear, but far away. And Gabby will take a bit of damage from the TC, as he'll push in another deer here. And it will be a barracks on the front. Gabby will scout that. Our Jurchen player will see where Gabby is, but decided to bring the scout back to push deer. Won't know what opening she's going for, and by the looks of it, will probably be scouts. Wouldn't be surprised to see a stable in front of the gold somewhere. Wallop to the edge of the map. Wallop over here and be extra safe. Oh my gosh, look at this wood line. Look at this wood line squeezed between the cliff and the player zone. Oh, look at that squeeze there. Oh, and there's a one tile gap there. Why did Gabby pick m0re? Does she think she's still in the RBW ladder? Maybe she just wanted a m0re match. Maybe she doesn't want to display any TTL strats and needs to play non-m0re. Archery range coming up. And market in the back, okay. Range plus market. We have an FC here. We have an FC. Is this FC Grenadiers? Okay, well, Phosphoro, his fastest build's with 21 pop. Gabby scouts the market, so she'll have some idea of what's coming. And she's sending forward Vills. Is this the right strategy? Forward Vills? Castle Age is on the way. I guess she wants to tower rush. I don't know if there's anything to disrupt. This is a very compact eco, not even going for the gold. Also, chat, remind me, after this game, I need to go get my coffee. Coffee didn't quite finish brewing before I started streaming. Now it's sitting up there. Is there a high-tier tournament for m0re games? It's called the Red Bull Qualifying Ladder. More coffee? Yeah, my second coffee of the day. This is gonna help power me through the casting. So watchtower coming up here for Gabby. And mining camp on the stone. So is this just Grenadiers then? I see a blacksmith on the way. Could be Grenadier plus Fire Lancer. But either way, the Churchins do need gold. So Gabby will be securing the gold, adding another mining camp in on the stone. And so far so good for the spear defense and the walling. A very compact base. Imagine Gabby might want another tower on the front to take up some farm space. Good to go around the TC. Yeah, she'll amass more scouts and set up her eco. Starting to be walled. Some farms going up. TC hitting the scout as the scout hits the house. Spear pokes, but the scouts take out the spear. There we go. And they will now try to get through the house and into the berries and the wood line. As our red player sells wood for gold. And Bill goes to repair the house. So Scout's not gonna get in, and still Fire Lancer's in a. Where's the siege tower? Fire Lancer's in a ram. I guess our red player wants to ram down the towers. So a couple of Lancers, a couple of Vills for repair, all inside the ram, and there it'll go, speeding over to that tower, 0.75 speed. Why don't you say hi? Hello, thanks for saying hi. Let me also make sure I have my YouTube chat open. One day I tried so much with hoping StreamerBot would give me one window for both chats. Didn't work, so I'll have to come up with another solution in the future. So tower goes up for Gabby. Hello MF, how are you doing? And one tower cleaned. Gabby, does she want to fight with scouts against 4 Fire Lancers? Ooh. Wanted to play with 2 Mongols pickers, but you go back to watching. As villas go out to mine the gold. That is an awkward mining camp adjacent to the gold. I think that needed to be a tile back, or a tile back on this side somewhere. But this tower will be rammed, and Gabby has to be careful that she has villagers inside of it, and also that she's still feudal age. Not the best food stockpile 18 minutes into the game. And how is this fight gonna go? There are Fire Lancers, they should counter scouts. And the scouts go down. Scouts go down. And now, remember, Fire Lancers, what do they have? +5 against Cav. This is looking actually kind of scary, I think. Fletching for Gabby, but she needs to get up soon. And can't buy her way up, doesn't quite have the resources for it. Maybe when the market finishes and she gathers more. I worry if she sells stone, she might need a tower on the gold that she won't be able to build anymore. Full Japanese feudal against someone doing what, Mongols FC Step Lancer? Where you go full Japanese feudal spears. That sounds interesting. I imagine the Step Lancers would still win though. So she does a forward range, putting some archers in a tower. Red not aware of this, but we'll scout it now. See the tower. Red could grab all the vills and send them to fight. Actually, he's gonna send the Fire Lancers and the Ram over. And the Siege Tower, let's go. This isn't banned on the ladder. Not banned on the ladder. Siege Tower time. Oh, look at that thing go. 1.10 movement speed. Zooming around faster than it'll be in TTL. Yep, the Jurchens are one of those and Fire Lancer civs. It is their mounted units attack faster, and their Fire Lancers. And Fire Lancers. Why? I don't know. But it's an and Fire Lancer civ. I think that's the good way to describe them. The Koreans are the only civ where that makes sense for their bonus. It's not and Fire Lancers. It's all wood units, which includes Fire Lancers. So Castle H for Gabby, who with the forward pressure here with the scouts has managed, despite losing a couple of fights, to click up to the Castle H. So 13 to 3 KD, and she will lose the forward archery range to the Ram. So so far so good for Red's defense. Full men-at-arms and skirms. Yeah, Japanese men-at-arms with arson. Yeah, arson and forging in feudal, and that gets quite scary. So scale mail armor. Maybe Gabby will go Fire Lancers herself. 3 barracks Fire Lancers, much better eco, should be able to pump them out. Just has to keep her gold protected. And also maybe be wary of the Siege Tower's ability to be used as a Siege Tower and hop walls. She'll be over chopping her wood line right now. Does not want to let enemy Fire Lancers in. And the Siege Tower is still around. I wonder if Gabby will go for her own Siege Tower, if we'll see a workshop right away. Now, she is up 44 vills to 25, so there's a pretty darn good lead. And if our red player can't do damage anytime soon, then he's just dead. Gabby, as much as she has lost some units, 13 to 7, she's done what she wanted to do in preventing red from coming forward and grabbing a much better res collected lead. And triple barracks Fire Lancer on the way. We'll see if the blacksmith upgrade comes in. She'll also repair the market. And we'll be double wall in the palisades. I think the Siege Tower actually could hop this palisade still, if it came in diagonally from this way. I don't know if that actually stops it. I wonder if it could. We'll have to test that out. I'm pretty sure it could. Still, even with that, I think she might need a wall there. Anyway, ram push on the TC, but that should be stymied by the Fire Lancers. Well, let's see how it goes. More Fire Lancers for their red Jurchens player. As the Rams start ramming the TC, and the Fire Lancers hop in and out of the Siege Tower. And Gabby will send Vills to fight. I think she cleans this up entirely. And even the Siege Tower can't run away now that there's nothing inside of it. And alright, now Gabby has won this game easily. And there's nothing that Red can do. It's... Now we're just relying on Gabby to finish off the game fast enough so I can get my coffee. Now I'm just waiting for coffee. And she'll get another lumber camp up. Send the Fire Lancers forward. How is that thing still running away from them? 2 HP. And gold is forward. There's a Scorpion out, but remember, Fire Lancers as a melee unit do well against Scorpions. And m0re Fire Lancer Siege Tower continues even after the Red Bull ladder. At least it's not Koreans. Oh, Gabby, hello. Why are you losing a villager to a Jaguar down here? What is that Vill doing? Hello, villager. Oh, you gonna try to dock that pond in Fish Boom? No, she doesn't see the pond. Just a weak Vill dying out there. Absolutely they need some nerves. I think the unit needs a serious redesign. Because right now, it's simply good against literally everything. It needs more clearly defined weaknesses, I think. And news about Vinch Hart tomorrow at 15 GMT. Vinch Hart. There will be some TTL concurrent with that, but I guess we'll cast Red Bull and then TTL before and after that. I really want to cast Gabby's set, but it's at the same time, so I might just cast that in the evening. Aren't they weak to archers? Not really. They have 65 hit points, which is quite a lot. And if you add archers, then anything that counters archers complements the fire lancers. Skirms, your iron pagodas if you get there as the Jershins, your heavy cav, light cav, any type of siege or skirm. They have lots of options against archers. Yeah, and they also can benefit from gambesons. Do the Jershins have that? They do. So Gabby could even get up to 3 pierce armor on these things. Will they be TTL today? Yes, in about 90 minutes. They're supposed to be TTL now, but it got rescheduled. And I started the stream just to see it got rescheduled. How do longswords? Longswords do okay against them. But the problem is, longswords are more expensive because they cost food instead of wood. And you usually don't have the eco for mass longswords in the Castle Age. And even if longswords come out, then the Jershins can do their grenadier unit to counter the longswords. Now, so rocket cart for Gabby. And there's the GG. Alright, coffee time. So we'll have military 36 to 34 KD. I tried to push in Castle Age, but then Gabby got up in time with her own Fire Lancers. And yeah, I had a good eco lead. So the Phosphor strat didn't quite work out. Alright, ooh, we'll have Gabby Yo. I'm gonna grab my coffee first. So stay tuned, I will be right back. And then we'll have Gabby versus Yo. Oh, what a treat. Alright, coffee is obtained. And... oh, I didn't leave the previous game. We'll cast Gabio. We also have m0re going on. We'll maybe cast Hera next game. But you know what we have right now, chat? You know what we have? Why did Red stop producing villagers totally? Went up on 21 eco, so didn't have the eco, or it was like a 21 pop FC. Very Phosphoro-esque build. Chicken stream went. Oh, that was yesterday, Josh. I might do another chicken stream just because the set I was gonna cast, one of them was canceled, and it was like half as long as I wanted to. So I'll probably do the chicken again, just to make sure we have a good period of having a chicken costume. It was cut short a bit, unexpectedly. So, we have Yo as the Red Vietnamese to the southwest. Look at that gold. Look at the gold he has. 3 golds all in one area. Gabby with a castle trap here would be crazy. But gold very easy to wall, well protected by the wood line. And so Yo has an incredibly easy map to wall, almost a Drush FC map. Gabby as the Celts also has a great gold in the back of her base, has a stone and some easy walling over here, and some easy walling over there. It looks like a 4 woodline Arabia, and another stone that's pretty well securable for her. Looking for excuses to dress up as a chicken. How many costumes do I have? I've just done various things in the closet over the years.
Kid.
I just got the chicken costume for fun. Anyway, you know what this is, chat? You know what this is? We just need to take a moment to appreciate that we have a 3-ville start Dark Age. Oh, man, I've missed these. I've missed this. And I'm really going to appreciate the fact that I have time to eat my breakfast during the game. As Yo goes out to his berries. How quaint, an army of rams? It's one of the sub-quotations. So John Fustolf. I have my sausage, egg, and cheese croissant from the Dunkin' Donuts next to where I go for therapy on my shoulder. Oh man, I love the Dark Age. I've missed this. Look at that 3-vills on wood. I mean, I think 9-ville start is a nice compromise for land events. But 3-vills just feels good. Yeah, Yo map hacks indeed. Oh man, look at him walling up. This is amazing. Look at this cute little base he has. Feels almost campaign-esque. Just need a couple of roads and some scenery objects. Station a couple spearmen defending the houses. Like a road from the edge of the map to the TC. Maybe a random outpost on the edge of the map, and boom, it's a campaign map. So Gabby as the Celts will be drushing into men-at-arms. And sending a Ville forward too. Okay, hasn't scouted Yo yet, but we'll be coming around to see what he's up to as she sends her militia forward. Yep, Albert, as I said, we were going to cast that, but it was rescheduled. It was rescheduled, and Wikipedia's not updated.
St4rk.
Unfortunately, it's not updated as quickly as the Discord server, and it is very, very unofficial. So, now that the Dark Age is over, the Men-at-Arms from Gabby will be trying to teach Yo a lesson as she comes with that forward Vil to add in an archery range. Looking to apply pressure to the Vils as they're walling up. Yo up to the Castle Age on 23 Vils, which honestly feels like a FC population in the way people phosphoro these days. It's a calm before the storm, yes. And there's the market. Gabby, though, with her scout, will block the market position. Let's go. Let's go. That's how you stop the phosphoro build. Block the market. And oh, come the Men-at-Arms, the scout goes down, but the wall, the palisade goes down. Yo's the wall behind. Oh, just gets the wall up. Just gets the wall up, but Gabby with that Vil will tower. Yo might be able to sell food instead of stone, though, and counter tower. And yeah, you will counter tower to keep the gold safe. Blacksmith on the way up. So Gabby won't be as aggressive with her tower. She'll move it back a few tiles. If she wants it still, that is. And maybe go for the wood line. Can move it a tile over. I guess she could go fletching and put archers in the tower. Yeah, probably good he was a little delayed. Oh, the Men-at-Arms get in. The Men-at-Arms are in. They walk through. The archer comes through as well. The tower goes up for Yo. And he finishes the berries. He has no base left, but he's up to the Castle Age. What do the Vietnamese do on a fast castle? He doesn't have stone for a castle or rattan archers. Gabby gonna tower that lumber camp. Man, that was a great job with the scout to block the market and almost got him with the Men-at-Arms. And that tower, once the tower goes up, the scout should die. Ooh, gets the archer, but the scout goes down. Honestly, I'm more than happy to kill a scout in this situation. And the Men-at-Arms will try to make a hole on the back palisade to make sure that Gabby has room if she wants to escape. And there will be a barracks for you. Oh, the Vietnamese. I forgot, the Vietnamese are one of those and Fire Lancer civs. Because they had a bonus. Archery range units get 20% extra HP. But then they added the phrase, and Fire Lancers, to the bonus. So as if the unit wasn't strong enough, give it 20% more HP. And gold and wood, that's all that'll be needed. Because why not? Why not just take the broken unit and give it 20% more HP? Why not? So scale mail armor on the way, and how do you fight that if you're feudal? We are having Yo show off a presumably more effective FC Fire Lancer than our Jurchen Emperor showed us last game. This is just regular ranked. Yep, we're gonna kill some time until TTL starts. There's a TTL set that got rescheduled, so we're just gonna cast more later. I was gonna cast 3 TTL sets today, and 2 of them got rescheduled. So yeah, now you can see Siege Tower Fire Lancers with no consequences.
Điện hạ có gì sai bảo? Dạ bẩm có dân nữ. Dân nữ xin chào lệnh. Điện hạ có gì sai bảo? Bái kiến điện hạ.
So house on the way as fletching finishes.
Dạ bẩm có dân nữ.
And Yo needs to make sure he's not housed. Those Men-at-Arms did destroy a house. And Gabby will have some archers harassing Vils on the back of the gold mine. But has to be careful of the tower. Tower at least no fletching and no bodkin, so it doesn't have extra range. Fire Lancers for now afraid of the archers. Gabby with 1,000 more res collected, but running into the TC. Gabby, no, don't run into the TC like that. You need those archers. That's the difference between no archers and 2 archers, and that will let Yo easily run out to find another lumber camp spot. Lancer's still being annoying, and she could run out and go around to hit the lumber camp, but then would lose her back positioning here as 2 Lancers come forward. So this is where if those archers don't run into the TC and she runs away from the Lancers, then she gets up to 4 archers and Yo can't be chopping out here. And oh, that is such a painful mistake to make, running into the TC on these tight builds when 2 to 4 archers matter. And now she'll get more archers, but it's taken a while. She'll have fletching, but 4 archers with fletching hitting the woodline. There were a lot of low HP vills there. Is this a mistake from Yo to have gone forward with the Fire Lancers? Can vills fight this off? I think not. They're really fast. Now Gabby's gonna lose a couple of vills. So far, so good though for Yo. He's only lost 1 vill. Gabby loses 2 vills on the stone. Has to be careful for gold now, but moves out with the archers. Wants to hit vills. Finally a counterattack. She gets 3 vills there, and will start to bring her forward vills back, coming around with both groups of archers. The archers that were in the base have run around. And she'll be trying to take out the Fire Lancers with feudal archers. Best she can do for now. Fire Lancer, let's see, some vills will come to fight the Fire Lancer. And more Fire Lancers in the rear. Another barracks for Yo. He wants more Lancer production. Gabby tries to group up all the feudal archers, and she is up to the next age, the castle age. While Yo is raiding with Fire Lancers, and Gabby has no choice but to fight with vills. To pull all the vills off the woodline. But I think it works out for her. She'll lose a couple of vills, but that's a sacrifice that she's willing to make. Only way to clear the Fire Lancers, and another vill goes down. These things are crazy. Those are any castle age units against vills. Is that my basement? This is my ground level. So it's a first floor apartment, a ground level apartment. Some 70s era wood paneling. Best apartment I ever saw though was a friend who lived in a converted schoolhouse because he had a chalkboard in his apartment. Oh my gosh, you get a nice stick of Hagoromo chalk. That's heaven right there. Every basement in the Midwest from the 70s to 90s. I am planning to cast that, yes. I will predict Vinch 3-2. I'm seeing this stuff get punished. Oh, look at that, she stonewalled the lumber camp. Let's go. Stonewalled the lumber camp. So up to the castle age, and should be able to do bodkin and crossbow, which hopefully counters the Fire Lancers then. I do worry about her gold being a bit exposed to the charge attack, but at least it is only an occasional attack, not a consistent attack. Double ranges both forward. Double ranges both forward, and we need some upgrades. She doesn't have the eco for upgrades. She is up by 7 villagers and has 2,000 more resources collected. The Fire Lancer's getting it on the gold, but she does manage to click the crossbow upgrade. She'll need to bring a couple back home, I think, to clear this. And yeah, there she goes back home to clear the Fire Lancers. Yo getting forward with a couple Lancers here and there has caused some chaos. TC gets one of them. Okay, Yo's turn to run into the TC. Gabby will wall everything else and start to attack the Fire Lancer. And we see how strong these Castle Age units are. That's 10 Vil kills for Yo. And that'll be an 11th in there. Maybe even a 12th. Oh, that guy is tanky. 2 melee armor. Finally goes down as a crossbow comes back. But now Gabby with the crossbow should be able to clean the Fire Lancers here. Well, let's see just how well they counter Lancers. Okay. Gets a couple of kills there. Yo still has that tower, but Gabby has 2 towers on the wood line. Yo has only 1 wood line left. And if Gabby denies that workshop, there are weak Vils on the workshop. She needs to see it and deny it. So odd not seeing Korean mirrors. We're still seeing Fire Lancers. We're still seeing the Fire Lancers. But the workshop goes up, and that'll let Yo do scorpions now. As he did re-wall. No ballistics yet for Gabby, and the Vil will survive. Managed to run away. Running in straight lines on DE means you survive. It didn't in AOC. And now Bodcanero on the way for Gabby as some Fire Lancers come forward. A part of me feels the second range for Gabby should have been at home instead of forward, and then it would be easier to defend against the Lancers by having crossbows at home. She have maybe 4 or 5 at home instead of 2. And she's still doing what she can to harass the wood line. Vietnamese Lancers, at the very least, don't have the wood discount like Koreans do. She's still up by 5 Vils, and still figuring out how to counter Fire Lancers. Yeah, no military buildings at home is sketchy. Follow the advice of Dave. Put some buildings at home. Otherwise, you can't get your military back. And maybe a monk will change things. She's still trying to be forward, more crossbows in the ranges. But Yo with Siege is in a good spot to defend. Only Palisades over here. I wonder if Gabby gets enough crossbows she could shoot down a Scorpion. And then this actually is over chopped. And that's a ram. She's coming with more crossbows. Fire Lancer's trying to hit the gold. Again, gotta be careful of their charge attack. The crossbows are over. There's a monk out soon. The crossbows will go down to the Fire Lancers. Another Vil goes down. Scores are neck and neck. Gabby doing a forward workshop of her own. The ram from Yo here to clear towers. There are enough crossbows there, though. They should be able to stop this. Ajax, thank you for the follow. They should be able to stop this, and the Vils can hit the ram. Mangonel on the way. And that monk needs to do some work with conversions now. It looks like he got one and used the rest of his monk juice. Gabby has to be careful with the monk. Also has to be careful not to lose the crossbows. Tower going down. At least there's another tower still on the wood line. Vils can turn and fight that. The Mangonel's out. Ram goes down. And the Lancers also will go down. Gabby has to be careful without ballistics. But we'll get 2 of them at least. And now she actually could push the tower with the Mangonel. We'll see if she can get a second Mangonel out at some point. Might need another monk at home. Get a second monk on the way. And monk should keep her safe from the rest of the Fire Lancers. And that Mangonel will need some repairs. But nothing too bad. And Mangonel forward. Here comes the Vil to repair the Mangonel. One of the most important things you can do in Age of Empires, repair your siege. As Yo now has to do his own Mangonel to deal with Gabby's forward Mangonel. And at the back, another conversion on a Fire Lancer. This is Monk doing work. He can heal up a Fire Lancer, and Yo is going to retreat and try to group up with more Fire Lancers. This is where I'm still worried about not having anything at home, and Gabby also needs to pay attention to the Mangonel, and she does. Yo has to be... No, neither player with another Mangonel. But she'll still be going for the tower. Again, has to be careful. And runs right into the Mangonel shot. I was afraid she was going to lose 2 Mangonels there. And she wanted the forward gold, but lost 3 Vils. The Vil count is now 43 to 42. That's almost tied up. And Gabby, I think, still suffering from not having any military production at home. She tried to be really aggressive, but now you're in the Mangonel War, where that can go 50-50 and doesn't give you a guaranteed win. Whoever gets the Mangonel kill here, if you get an advantage, that is actually a huge advantage. But again, she doesn't have anything at home to defend this. Only 1 Scorpion, though. And okay, Scorpion and a Mangonel. What is Gabby's micro going to be here? She's not paying attention so far. Dodges the Scorpion. And has to dodges into the Mangonel. That was painful, but she still has a good number of crossbows left. Still has 10 crossbows. That's 1 Mangonel. She can find the Vil in the houses. Vil's at the front. That's 22 Vil kills for Yo. Now here's the defensive mangonel. It clears the scorpion at least. I'll force Yo to fall back. The scorpion hitting like crossbows. I still feel this game may have turned by those two archers running into the TC, and the second range being forward instead of at home. Fire Lancer is so good against mangonels. Oh, this unit counters so many other units. It has no weaknesses, and Gabby will call the GG, unable to stop the Fire Lancers at home. Man, that was an interesting game. That was really close for her, but couldn't quite get it to happen. Those couple of Fire Lancers that Yo sent forward clutched it out for him. Those two pairs killing 7 vills among them. It was crazy. So 73 to 31 KD, Fire Lancers impressive again. Not just Castle versus Feudal, but also Fire Lancers and how cheap they are. Oh, we have another Yo Gabby. It's Maya Chinese. We can do that. Let's keep going Yo Gabby. I think that'll be more fun than Hera. Hera Uzone's also coming up. So, let's start drinking some water and then some coffee. I need to leave my previous game. Join the next one. I wish that would be handled automatically. Why does the dashboard say Yo's on a Nomad team game? It says Yo's doing 2 different things at once. Sounds like a hipster clothing store. Changing would cost of food be enough of a nerf? It would be a nerf, but probably not enough of one. Yo is literally top 4? No, not if Nilly gives him minus 100 elo, Big Bazo. Yeah, the only one who can stop Yo being top 4 is Nilly. Weak against longswords? No, the problem is longswords are weak against everything, and longswords are more expensive because they cost food. I've seen champions work in Imp, but longswords are a bit too difficult to get to properly to counter Fire Lancers and not have Fire Lancers add something else. I mean, we saw crossbows that game that should counter Fire Lancers. So harsh. Oh, and Andre, thank you very much for the raid. We are going to be casting some TTL in about an hour. We'll have m0re versus st4rk. Right now we're just casting some ranked games, and we're loading into Yo versus Gabby. We just had Gabby face, and let's see, I'll change the colors so it's the same as last game. We will have Yo as the red Maya to the west, Gabby as the blue Chinese to the east, and what is this Civ matchup? What is this? We actually have proper non-Siege Tower Fire Lancer Civs? Man, we just had 2 games. Gabby faced, we casted her against an 1800 who went Phosphoro FC Fire Lancer Siege Tower, and it didn't work. She shut it down. Then she matched against Yo, who went FC Fire Lancers, not with the Siege Towers, just FC Lancers. And that was a pretty close game, but Yo managed to pull it off. Now we'll see what is hopefully a standard game between these two. Oh, you're right, I'm sorry, the Chinese do get Fire Lancers. What am I thinking? I'm still used to the Korean mirrors. You're right, the Chinese get Fire Lancers. And they move faster. At least this isn't as bad as Vietnamese and Jurchens. This isn't and Fire Lancers, this is just Fire Lancers and. The units with fire in their name move faster. Bulgarian longswords maybe, or Teutons. What about Teuton Knights on horse against Fire Lancers? So Fire Lancers have attack bonuses against Cav. So Teuton Knights, remember, they don't get husbandry, and even though they have extra melee armor, the melee armor the Teuton Knights get does not block the bonus damage the Fire Lancers do. So I'd be tempted to say, depending on the matchup, Knights can work if you have the timing and the eco right, but in the long run, you probably don't want to fight big fights Knights versus Fire Lancers. Teutonic Knights also are probably a bit too slow, because you need a castle and you need to produce them. And they also cost food and gold. They're pretty expensive, much more expensive than Fire Lancers. So even though individually the unit beats the Fire Lancer, it's more expensive and harder to get to. And I don't know, maybe Phosphoro has some type of FC Teutonic Knight build. But I wouldn't think there are, at least in the Castle Age, a counter. Maybe an Imp? If you have a long Imp game, you add Teutonic Knights. But the way they usually played in early Castle, like we saw the previous 2 games, I don't think that would work out. Ever reason to ever make Pike line versus Lancers? No. So Pikes would have a higher attack bonus against Elephants. Their anti-cav bonus is higher. But for the most part, the Fire Lancer simply being a better unit is more important. And we all know how Knights still beat Pikes in early Castle Age. Man, this Dark Age is so relaxing. Chat can ask questions, I can read and respond to them, I can drink my coffee, eat my breakfast. I miss this. Yo even gets, these are the 2 extra Vil civs. 1 extra Vil for Yo, 3 extra Vils for Gabby. Will just be a 1 Vil lead in total after the idle time. For 30 seconds, not quite ideal, but decent enough to keep the TC running and keep a 1 Vil lead over the Maya. See, did Yo do Loom or did he skip Loom? He did Loom early. That'll turn into a 2 Vil lead in a bit. Let me maybe, oh, I couldn't click the pause ad button fast enough. My Alt-Tab micro isn't enough. Sorry, I still need to go to my settings and change the ads now that we're done with the Red Bull ladder. I put the auto ads on because I didn't have time to run ads between games then, so I'll need to adjust that now. Fire Lancers are a plague. Slavic Scorpions. You know, FC Roman Scorps could be interesting against Fire Lancers. The problem is the Siege Towers. You put the Fire Lancers in the Siege Towers and then you counter the Scorpions. That's one of those where, yeah, late game you can add those in, but the civs with Fire Lancers usually have other options. Be it cannon or rocket carts against the Scorpions. It's really tricky. I mean, Hera's been saying that Fire Lancer Siege Tower has no counter, and I tend to agree with him. There are lots of ideas for what to do against it, but I just don't think anything really works. Haven't even played against it. I played years ago. I remember an arena game where someone went Siege Tower crossbow against monks. And it was a situation where it was really tight on gold, so I couldn't afford redemption that early, and they wrecked the monks with it. And ever since the change that now redemption needs to be adjacent to siege towers hard counter monks. And there's really no way to use monks against siege towers now. The only way would be if you have a timing where they don't have a ranged unit and no crossbow. Yeah, pikemen do more damage against cav, and particularly against elephants, than the lancers do. But lancers being tankier and holding up better against the stuff that counters pikes makes them far more versatile. And if you're purely against someone spamming knights, then maybe going full pike would be better. But that's not the case. There are combinations of units. And the Fire Lancers make a much better combo than pikes do. So there's an eagle going down. Another eagle coming forward for Yo. He's opening eagles and adding a range. Gabby will see the range, but won't be surprised by the Maya adding a range. Oh, it also attacks that much faster? Oh, God. Yeah, and that's true. For pikemen, you also need the upgrade. Fire Lancer you just get instantly. So pikemen actually are quite expensive compared to the Lancers. Considering pikemen are a cheap unit, that's saying something. Huskarl's longswords. So both of those we saw in Red Bull. We saw MBL versus ACCM, where MBL boomed and went Elite Huskarl and got absolutely slaughtered by Fire Lancers, and Fire Lancers destroy Huskarls. So could that have been a different game if MBL had open champions? Maybe. We did see a couple of Koreans mirrors where champions came into play. And maybe there is more room for different unit compositions in the Goth Korean matchup. But from what I've seen, the absolute domination of Fire Lancers against Huskarls does make that matchup tricky. And then Cataphracts. The problem is with Cataphracts, just like Teutonic Knights, they're super expensive. And we did see a game where Yo was the Chinese and MBL was the Byzantines. MBL went for a tower rush, applied lots of feudal pressure, managed to get up and do a castle and do Cataphracts, and was pretty good at stopping the Castle Age Fire Lancers. But once Yo got Imp and got Elite Fire Lancer, where the attack bonus goes from 5 to 15 against Cav, and MBL couldn't afford Elite Cav, again, it's so expensive compared to the Fire Lancers, he couldn't actually fight the Fire Lancers anymore without Elite Cataphract. So I've seen Cataphracts, and they didn't work. Imp and Champ plus Onager. Yeah, I also seen early game civs get such an advantage that the Korean player is so far behind that they can't come back. But I've also seen games where, like that Inca, there were a couple of Inca games with Vinchester against ACCM, where even if he had an early advantage, the Korea were so much better in the late game, or the Koreans were so much better in the late game as long as ACCM held on. He ended up winning in the long run. But I do wonder if Gabby will go Fire Lancers here. I guess that opens up maybe a possibility for Plumes as the Maya. Remember, they do have an attack bonus against Lancers. The Aztecs and the Inca have been fairly decent against Koreans from what I've seen. Jaguar Warriors, of all things. I did see a Tato Viper game where Tato was able to win with Jaguar Warriors. So maybe Plumes for the Maya could be an option, but Yo, the way he's walling, doesn't actually have a stone in his base. Is the Heartfinch? Heartfinch will be tomorrow at 15 GMT. So that's 10 a.m. for all of my East Coast US fellow Americans. Nothing can beat a Resign plus new game combo. As some skirms go down over here to the north, Yo will chase down Gabby's army, not really doing much damage. So while Gabby's skirms are a hit, she will try to run her archers around, but Yo has the awareness to track the archers. Will he see them briefly if he's really paying attention? But he goes right past them. She'll run into this Arabian wolf. And oh my gosh, I gotta say, all the credit in the world to these Arabian wolf graphics. This is now my favorite animal in the game. As much as Gabby's gonna kill it. There's another one up here. This guy, he is so handsome. I love this wolf. Look at him there in all his majesty. Anyway, at the front, Yo chasing a few skirms from Gabby back into her base. She'll have to abandon those berries. Most of the berries are taken. Jaguar Warriors are so cool. Or do you mean just normal Jaguars are cool? Ornlu, I gotta say, Ornlu is a handsome wolf, but he's not an Arabian wolf. Yeah, both are cool. So, Castle Age on the way for Gabby. She's up first. And is that Castle Age for Fire Lancers? And no, it's a second range. Okay, Castle Age then maybe for skirmishers against a potential Maya crossbow setup. Alright, so not going to be pure Fire Lancers.
Shot it.
Palisade wall hit by the Eagles. And has 74%. Castle Age on the way for Yo. He'll be 2 minutes behind. Or, you know, maybe it'll just be crossbow then and not skirm. Gabby keeping up on the archer production. Getting a couple more house foundations up, making sure she'll be fully walled in the back. And there's castle. Yo, seeing that will fall back. 19:37-minute castle time for Gabby. And she will add crossbow and a bodkin arrow. And look to push forward. She'll have a bit of timing where Yo won't be up. Yo adding an extra range himself. And Gabby will add a TC. TC on her secondary gold, finding a little flat area where she can fit it in. Then Castle Age on the way for Yo. Skirms force back an eagle. And the eagles and skirms for Yo come back to his base. Go to the safety of their ranges. Of his ranges. And Gabby does have a stone mine in the back. So it looks like she did sell some stone and then buy it back in her quest to go up and do that TC. So should open up a good Vil advantage over Yo with the earlier TC. Yo is still trapped in his base without map control. His second 2 golds are forward, and his 2 stones are pretty far away. The only thing he's managed to keep safe is his gold. But it will be elite skirm for him against all of those crossbows. Won't be going eagles, just skirmishers for now. And with these skirms, he'll find it safe to do another TC. Gabby won't quite get that eagle, 1 HP, but 1 HP is all you need. All you need, calculated from Yo.
Shot it.
And Gabby killing the archers, or killing 1. No ballistics, and units without ballistics don't hit anything. Another woodline in the back. That could be a nice TC spot, but she might want to save that for later. Could even do another TC right on that woodline for the... yeah, that little oasis. Bohemian hand cannoneers in Castle Age. Yeah, same thing, you need chemistry. Yeah, changing wood to food would probably help. I don't know if that's enough, though, because I still think one of the problems with the Fire Lancer, Gabby not quite doing them yet, but is that it counters so many different units. In that, it's so easy to add in a complementary unit, and suddenly there's nothing that pushes the combo. So rocket cart on the way. And here Gabby could be going Fire Lancers against all the crossbows. And then, I mean, against all the skirms. So then maybe Yo adds crossbow, but then Gabby could add rocket carts herself. Base attack's probably a bit too high too. I think the thing about the unit is it needs a clearly defined role. It has bonus damage against Cav, but it's good against so many things that I'm not sure what it actually is supposed to be made for, other than just a strong general purpose unit. And Monk goes down to the crossbows as an Arabian Wolf is killed by Vils, and Gabby will send 4 Vils forward, looking for a workshop.
Shot it.
And a TC in the back. Nerfing the siege tower will certainly help against it, but we saw enough Korean mirrors that we know even without the siege tower, the Fire Lancer is still OP. Yep, Heart Vinch is tomorrow at 15 GMT.
Shot it. Ashike. Tabish. Ashike. Tabish. Shot it. Tabish.
Maybe I'll just pin a comment there. Yeah, I think I can do a pin. Finch is tomorrow, Wednesday at 15 GMT. Boom. There we go. Now everyone asking this message. You couldn't Google it. You couldn't check Wikipedia like Nilly tells you? If you don't do what Nilly tells you, you might lose 100 elo. Gotta be careful. Gotta have Wikipedia open 24/7.
Shot it.
So, another TC here. Rocket carts attacking the TC from Yo in the middle as the skirms run around. And defensive. Oh, Yo has to be careful. That castle foundation could be one shot. Gabby's paying attention. Oh, Gabby, please one shot this, one shot this. Oh, that should have been denied. 100% that should have been denied. How did that miss everything? Mangonel goes down. One rocket cart down. One other knees repair is just not in time. Just not in time. The skirms, a couple of them hit by that rocket cart. Pushed back. And still lots of crossbow pressure from Gabby with the rocket carts, with that workshop she made with the forward vills. Mangonel goes for crossbows. Is rocket cart just better than Mangonel? From what I've heard, I think most pros think it's a bit better, and that it tends to do more splash damage. It is more costly in terms of gold, so maybe it does make sense that it's slightly better, because I feel that it is a bit more expensive. And it also does have to stand still for a split second to shoot all of the projectiles, so it is maybe a bit trickier to micro. But I think for the most part, from what I've seen, I get the feeling also that it's slightly better. Ooh, that one goes down though. Is it Pixiv? It is do Pix. It's a ladder game. The Pix will still work. I do like the Maya castle, and it fits in decently well with the architecture.
Shot it.
Ooh, Mangonel goes down. And Gabby up to Imp as well. Ooh, so she's down by 10 vills, but up to Imp. And with 15 vills on stone, 900 stone in the bank, in a position where she could do a forward castle, a couple of great hills for one here, and then get some trebs popping, get this castle dropping. Yo not close to Imp himself. Res collected actually slightly ahead for Yo. His Mangonels are going down. His skirms go down. Finally, that's a good rocket cart shot. And here come the vills, and that is a pretty darn forward castle for Gabby. He'll take out the market. Might have preferred seeing the market go down and had the castle on the hill, but at least it's forward, and that will threaten the TC. He'll use his Mangonel to try to deny it, but take a rocket cart shot in the process. On the hill, that rocket cart survives. You dislike them because they have lower HP versus other non-Mangonel units and have to stand still fire and fire all the rockets. Yeah, butter. Oh, it picks with the pound symbol front. Oh, your eye will do it. I keep forgetting. I need to add to my bot the exclamation mark picks to redirect it to the chat, to the dashboard bot. Nice Mangonel shot, but the castle goes up. And maybe it's Chuko New time. Wouldn't mind seeing some Chuko News. Gabby is in a stable? That's maybe a misclick. Maybe a workshop would be more appropriate for Rams. Oh no, she wants a second castle. Time for a second castle. And Yo desperately trying to click up to Imp, but there Gabby is up. Ooh, has to be where that Mangonel. Don't lose the castle to a Mangonel. But after a couple of Chuko News, it's time for a Treb, or after she cancels the Chuko News, it's time for a Treb. Is Maya still top tier? I honestly don't know, Bloodless. Maya always were a Civ that were top tier, but in some situations had really bad Civ matchups. Like Goths, or Celts, or Teutons on closed maps. And I feel that now there are still things they do really well, but they also hit the situation where there are civs that have good matchups against the Maya in the early game, too.
Ashike.
In general, they aren't as strong as they used to be. And in general, with all of the new units that have been added, oh my gosh, look at that Mangonel. Dancing. With all the new units that have been added, stuff like Fire Lancers counter some of the strengths of the American civs. Old castles look bad compared to the new? I don't know, honestly, I think the old castles still look better. Maybe I'm just used to them. But I really like the old ones. So a couple of knights popping out to deal with the skirms. Knights do have 2 armor. And 3 knights with reinforcements on the way should be enough to clear this and force it back. So nice counter raid from Gabby here. Knights come around.
Shot it.
Non-DLC civs weaker than the DLC civs. Well, Bulgarians are in some sense a DLC civ, right? They came with the last cons. They are usually pretty weak. So the Trebs are popping, and we all know what happens when the Trebs are popping. Yo's trying to repair this castle, but he's just about out of stone. And with a couple more volleys, it will be dropping. And one more Treb shot coming in, and 33 HP, a final Treb shot, and down it goes, crumbling to the ground, his TC falling. 3 relics in that monastery also going down soon. The Chukonu pops out of the castle with its crossbow, takes out the range, takes out the house. The upcoming DLC will have a counter unit for Fire Lancers. Will it have a counter unit for Siege Towers? So knights dying to skirms there. The knights need their final armor upgrade.
Shot it.
It's a lot of skirms for Yo. This is a matchup Yo, even if he loses the game, you have to give him credit. He does not have single-minded avoidance of Maya skirms. He is enthusiastically making the Maya skirms. Water Lancers, Ice Lancers.
Shot it. Ashike.
Oh gosh, look at those skirms. He has Ultra Javelineers, and because the skirms shoot, or when they throw the javelins, they throw 2 javelins. They do 2 damage to Trebs instead of 1, so it doubles their damage against Trebs. Man, is Yo gonna hold on here? We'll have a Cavalier switch for Gabby, but she really does need the final armor to fight the skirmishers. They will be doing 1 extra damage regardless, so she needs to minimize the damage she takes from that primary javelin. Yeah, the skirm count is outrageous. He's trying to rebuild a TC on his farms, but will not get that. He is down by 40 vils. He's bringing a bunch of skirms over. The skirms will probably dive the castle and won't care about the castle fire. Gosh, these skirms are crazy. Look at them go. Look at the captures can't even render those graphics properly. Oh my gosh, that Treb goes down 2 volleys. Oh, the poor Treb. Castle goes down. Yeah, Gabby's eco's looking strong, but she has to fight Maya skirms now. Maybe, you know what she needs? And it's very simple. She just needs Fire Lancers now. Fire Lancers and some Siege Towers. She is going for Cavaliers though. And so far, no real infantry attempt from Yo. Yeah, Cav lose to Skirm these days, as Yo once more will try to regain his TC spot. And with some good castle positionings, and having taken out many Trebs, Yo not really threatened right now by Gabby. I do wonder if Arbalest would be worth it for Gabby fighting the Skirms. Get the extra armor to do, or get the extra attack. Also could use chemistry. But looks like she's prioritizing the Cavalier swap. Only 12 right now. That is 60 skirms from Yo. Oh, well, the skirms are moving forward. Gabby sees that, and this is a mistake from Yo, leaving the Trebs exposed. The castle will go down, but that'll be 3 dead Trebs. Nothing Yo can do to save the Trebs now. He takes the score lead. Part of me feels that'll just be fleeting, as Gabby's now at just about 200 pop, with the Chinese with 150 vils. Should have a better eco, but actually only up by 1k resources right now. And the Trebs almost saved by the skirms. It's like, these skirms are OP. Gabby can't figure out how to fight the Maya skirms. Maybe that's enough Cavaliers in the fight, but I don't think so. He's still at 60 skirms. Yo, a beast producing skirms. Gabby trying to add light cav now. Chinese light cav, they're okay. They don't have Hussar as an option, they just have light cav. This is ladder. TTL will be in about 30 minutes. I've never seen a scarier group of skirms. Imagine if this were a team game and we had Maya Imperial skirms. Yeah, you get the memes in the chat. Pros consistently throw by single-minded avoidance of Maya skirms. Well, Yo, he's out for revenge now after getting pushed out of the Empire Wars ladder. He's shown no mercy to anyone. He's a single-minded focus on Maya skirms. Light cav was supposed to counter this, right? Yeah, your Skinny's been around. He knows the 2v2 game where Doubt countered Huskarls and Knights from the Goths with skirms. What is the counter to Maya skirms? Onagers? Heavy rocket cart, maybe? But even then, we saw the skirms with 2 javelins do enough damage to the Trebs to take them out. Maybe the rocket carts wouldn't have enough staying power. They hurt to stop 70 of anything. And Gabby's eco keeps pulling ahead, and she is still somehow ahead in KD, picking off a monk. Looks like she'll be going for a siege push. There is a plumed archer. Look at this guy. The non-elite version, though. I'm not used to that. He looks very strange. Gabby trying to raid with light cav now. Yo repairing the TC. Old plumes did look better. I think there's a mod out there that replaces the castle plumes with the old plumes. And still just a battering rams. Needs to upgrade to capped ram. Has the food for it. He'd much rather have capped rams against the castle. Oh, a converted cavalier. That will be very annoying against the ram push. Guard towers for Gabby. She can go up to keeps, and with the great wall tech, would give them more HP. Bombard towers are also pretty nice. So there's another castle from Yo looking to treb and push back. And with the castle, protect his skirms and also go arbalests. Yeah, Yo's gone full Fire Lancer so much he needs to practice with other units, maybe? Maybe he thinks he still can't make siege towers? Doesn't want to lose an extra 100 elo points? Down. So go repairing the castle from the back. And no siege ram, just capped ram and the arbalests with some vills repairing the castle. The rams are downhill. This castle will stand. This castle will stand. The ram push will be stopped. And I feel like Yo is slowly but surely pushing Gabby back. chemistry on the way. She'll still need Arbalest. Do Aztecs have the best siege of the American civs? Yes, they have siege onagers. Siege engineers, siege ram. They have the best siege. Well, that's part of what makes them a decent Black Forest civ. Siege onagers, and then you have a role to fill with monks getting conversions against enemy siege. And a good eco. Yeah, we might be a bit overboomed. Maybe a bit, but remember, the Maya usually need fewer villagers. Hoarding's on the way for Yo. He's trying to repair the castle, but he's out of stone, needs to buy more. That's 4 trebs from Gabby, some of which are atop a hill. And that castle goes down. Whatever he was researching he didn't get. I guess that was maybe El Dorado? That'd be a weird thing to research. I don't know what else he'd be doing to the castle, though. I saw the castle glowing. They didn't catch what he was doing. Architecture for Gabby. She will run in with a bunch of light cav. Yo also doing this a lot. Gates to protect his trebs. Keeps the melee units away and helps protect them from stray treb shots. This is a situation where Gabby might want to focus on trebbing the gate at the front or the trebs. A bit easier to hit. Oh, hoardings. Okay, hoardings for HP. There we go, that makes sense. Thank you, Imperial Militia. More pacifist. I'd like to. Maybe if I can get time to do it. I have upcoming, I need to do the lands, or the maps for the Brazil land. Once we get through that, then I think I'll be a bit more open for pacifist. So Gabby out of stone too. Buying stone to repair her castle. Does not want to lose this castle location. Yo has enough stone for another castle. Longer lasting stone for the Maya. And Gabby will come in with some light cav raids. Gate almost down. She's doing her own skirms, doing keeps. Now keeps might be effective at keeping the skirms at bay. Part of me would still like to see bombard towers, and that failed ram push now hurts so much against that castle. If that castle goes down, Yo is open over here for raids or has to spend stone on another castle. Now he can afford to take a treb fight. A guy named Sneaky Salmon who loves monks. Who doesn't love monks? Blast furnace, you're also missing an upgrade. There's murder holes. Still, 10k more res collected and more bills. Yo losing bills. I still think this is Gabby's game. Ooh, she's gonna take some raids on her wood line. Yo moves in with arbs. That's 30 arbs. Kind of tricky to clean up as Yo's trying to push forward at the front too. Yo's closing that KD difference. Gabby at least has a nice hill on which she can fight. Looking at the wood situation, Yo's starting to run out of some wood in the back, but he has a few more options, and he's the Maya, so it lasts longer. Gabby taking that wood line in the corner and moving down to the south of the map, still finding some extra golds, and that is great for her having the extra golds. I don't love monks anymore because they've been power crept. I know we need to restore balance to the monks. Chinese skirms have any bonus? Nope, they are fully upgraded skirms, and the bonus would be that Chinese have a good eco, so their upgrades are cheaper, but no actual upgrades to the skirms themselves. The Yarbs splattered that trip. Yo still doesn't even have access to his front gold. He's doing all of this with cheap Maya arbs and denied gold access. 1 extra gold for him. The Yarbs are very scary though. Right now, in the skirm fight, Yo has the better skirms. There's no question about that. He can single-mindedly produce Maya skirms. I still think what Gabby needs to do is focus the gate rather than the trebs, but maybe she's doing that. Yo just keeps rebuilding a gate. At least Gabby has the hill. Yo's still deciding to fight on the hill. Maybe he feels his skirms are good enough, it's still worth it? Not sure about that. Maybe it is. I'm out of coffee now. Sad moment when you finish your second coffee. This is glorious. And now siege rams, but again, the siege rams not protected by anything, and Bills will fight them off. Where are the fire lancers? Where are the fire lancers in the siege rams? She'll pull them back at least. Yo, still with a bit more gold there. 500 plus the extra Maya along the last res. Siege ram at the front, and the gate does go down. The Repairville's there with another ram on the way. This is what she needs, some rams there. And she is repairing that castle. Another gate goes up, but the ram should make short work of that. Those arbs in the back. At least they're arbs and not skirms. And I say that because the Holster Javelineers would mean that they'd be doing more damage to the rams than the arbs. And can this hero ram take down the trebs? It gets one treb, the other treb, 3 HP, and down it goes. The castle for Gabby stands, and she takes a 3k score lead, pushing into the arbs from the hill. And now, what is this? Yo has arbs? Where are all the skirms? He gets down to 2 skirms, and as the skirms run out, Gabby does it. After an hour, she defeats Yo, takes out the trebs, had rams up here, but Yo, maybe seeing that he's out of gold now. Gabby's still with gold left. She'd be taking Yo's forward gold. She will do it. Revenge for the Fire Lancers in the previous game. And GG, 524 to 397 KD. 14k more res collected. 3.5 minutes faster to imp and everything working out. Think Yo needed eagles? Maybe he did. Little moment of single-minded avoidance of Maya skirms in favor of arbs, and look what happens. I know, look what happens. He went for arbs instead of skirms. GG. Again, I think Gabby's probably streaming right now. Is she still streaming? Yeah, she's streaming. Go, chat. Go spam some emotes in Gabby's chat right now. Tell her GG. Go follow her if you're not already. Alright, so we have 20 minutes before the next TTL set is supposed to start. I don't see them drafting yet. So let's maybe find one ranked game that's maybe partially in progress. We'll cast Ozone Hera. They're 4 minutes in. Bulgarians, Mongols. This will probably be a quick one, right? It's Hera. Maybe Ozone will kill him and surprise us all. Gonna be a tough matchup for Ozone, but Hera's lost some elo. He's 26-13 apparently. He needs to gain his elo back. So here we'll have Hera to the southwest as the Mongols, Ozone to the north as the Bulgarians, and we'll load in 3 minutes into the Dark Age. It is so lovely to be able to load into the Dark Age and not miss anything. Yeah, no Koreans. And, oh my gosh. It took us 3 games. But finally. Neither of these civs have Fire Lancers. Ah, yes. Although, to be fair, we might see drill siege towers from the Mongols. At least the Mongols don't really have a good infantry option. They used to have fully upgraded champions, but with the introduction of Gambesons, they miss that now. And they only have pikes and not halbs. But drill towers still are fast. They both got, oh nice, they randomed. Gotta love when people random. And Ozone doing the pick Mongols strategy, because if someone force picks a civ, usually they have some type of Phosphoro-esque strat planned, and Mongols are a pretty good counter to those. Hello, Janchess. I'm glad that pick still works. That is a wonderful new command. So yeah, again, in about 20 minutes, we should have m0re versus st4rk for TTL. They'll probably start their drafting then. He could train Konix, delete them, and put them in siege towers. Now that is the type of IQ I expect from my chat. That is a brilliant idea. Train Konings, delete them and put them in siege towers. Did Hera lose like 499 elo? I mean, he lost like 400, I guess. Shift enter doesn't work in the... No, Twitch chat does not have new lines. I see you tried to do a bulleted list. Markdown formatting in Twitch chat doesn't work. So barracks forward for Ozone. Hera will be up much faster though. He's up 740. Hera with the Mongols. He goes up quickly. That's 16 pop, no loom. Or 16 vil, no loom. 17 pop total. If you really have a perfect build, I think 16 pop, no loom is about as fast as you can go. I did have one game with a Slav's ally in a 2v2, where I think I pulled off 15 pop, no loom. But that's because the barracks counts as a house, and the stable counts as a house, so you don't need as much wood. And you have an easier feudal transition. Maybe it was more than that, but I know I tried to skip the house. Maybe it was 15 pop with loom. I just remember I tried to go up super fast. Team eco bonuses give you some fancy build orders if you try to take advantage of them. Stable. Let's see what comes out of the stable. Some scouts. Now TTL 10, then TTL in about 20 minutes. Oh my god, you know, Capture Age, it does this. I type in the box. I typed ranked ladder, and for some reason, typing in this box doesn't save the update. It's like I type, and then I go to another text box, and it reverts whatever I typed. Some weird concurrency UI thing. Yeah, we had 3 TTL sets today, 2 of them got rescheduled, so we'll cast the one that remains. And tomorrow we will navigate between TTL, Red Bull, and my trip to the DMV. So Ozone with a couple of scouts, Hera has a wood line. Do these vills have loom yet? They do. They do. In slightly injured vill, but with all those vills, I don't think Ozone wants to dare fighting. He'll just poker, he'll just run around and hope Hera reacts. But Hera so far not taking the bait. Third scout, no forging yet. Fourth scout, if they had forging, they definitely fight. 4 scouts is, I think, the first number where you can think about fighting, but Hera comes back with his own scouts. Spear forward for Ozone. Ozone grouping up his scouts, didn't quite have the timing to fight there. Should be quick in and out. Well, I do have an appointment slot. What are the chances that my end of day appointment, my 4 p.m. appointment, as late as I could schedule it so I could stream before, will actually be on time? And okay, stand ground patrol into a fight. Who wins this? Hera's slightly advantaged there, I think. As Mongols get no hand cannoneers, they struggle against dismounted Konaks. Something tells me that Mangudai would be a good counter to dismounted Konaks, and particularly when they're placed inside of siege towers. The tourist scouts. Take a vacation near your opponent. That's okay, Kai World. I was streaming a bit less because I was doing the Twitch front page thing. But hopefully I fixed some of the internet and lag issues I was having. We should be okay to have more consistent YouTube streams now. Hasn't better than you remembered 15 years ago. I have a hypothesis that during COVID they probably had to make some improvements that made things more efficient. And oh no, the Vil not walled enough. Ozone. And deletes the wall to try to save the Vil, but doesn't. Now he just has a big old hole in his wall. And another Vil that needs to wall herself in. Yo or Gabby? Gabby won that game. Scouts wanting to get another Vil, but with Scouts chasing them, I don't think Hera will get the Vil snipe. Oh, he's gonna get... Of course he gets it. Hera, he gets the Vil snipe. Is that troll and ladder like Doubt and Viper? Unless his chat makes him troll. So, mining camp for Hera. He goes over to the stone. Mining camp on the way up, and market for Ozone, as well as Castle Age on the way for Hera. So I'm curious, because I've just been noticing that we have quite a few more viewers, even for the non-Red Bull stuff. Is there anyone in the chat who's been just kind of absent from AoE but came back because they saw Red Bull? I'm curious how stuff like that affects overall viewer numbers for other events, if it trickles over. They'll repair in a house, and we'll have Bloodlines, Castle Age on the way. Castle Age clicked much later for Ozone. And hello, Major Blazer. A tremendous Tuesday. Tuesday's been pretty good so far. He used to do off-meta days and play Expo with an Archer Civ. First time watching AoE 2 this month. This month. Skinny plays. He knows AoE 2. You're not gonna convince me this is your first rodeo. Off-meta is not Skirm's. Hello, Turs. Up, there's the GG. Ozone calls GG as soon as he sees Hera get to the Castle Age. He didn't... Maybe Ozone doesn't realize how strong and unbeatable the Bulgarians are going to be. I don't think he knows the strategy of delete your Konix and put the dismounted ones in the siege towers. I don't think he realizes just how strong that's going to be. Does Hera have like a channel points goal or something where we can make him do a strat? Because I would love to make him do that now that you mentioned it. Alright, so I'm gonna take... We have about 10 minutes until they're supposed to go. Hera's versus Ozone again. Let's see, why am I getting pinged? That's Turs. Turs had suggested something about a TTL map, and I'm considering changes. Are we locked off behind subs? Well, there's enough gifties in his channel. You're usually subbed, right? You missed the chicken costume. I might do another chicken costume. I might do it one more time because I wanted to do it for 2 sets yesterday, and one of the sets was canceled. So we might do the chicken costume again. What now? What now? Are you okay with just like maybe we wait for 10 minutes and we chat and we wait for the drafts? I'm hoping that they're drafting on time. m0re versus Stark in 10 minutes. I don't want to like start something and then we get into a draft. Maybe we cast one more game. We have a 4v4 on DE's Black Forest. We have Hera Ozone again. And then we have Gabby versus Wise. Britons, Romans. Haven't seen Britons that much. Oh, that's right. I can put on the TTL logo, right? You reminded me. Boom, I added it on my capture HC. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you know what I will do? Let's just chat for a bit, chat. I'll go to my bot. I'm gonna add a bot command. Let's do this. Pix command. Great. Then actions. Action. Add a. And triggered. Message to chat. All right. Let's see. Will inter-bot communication work? If I do this, and the bot does that, will spec dashboard do something? Maybe I need to be spectating for spec dashboard to pick up on that. Use this time to get hydrated or snacks. I had my second breakfast already. Yeah, there's TTL, but now I want to see if the Pix command works from one bot to another. Let me just hop into a random game to spectate and we'll test. You Pudding's playing a game, but against an 1800. Not many people queuing right now. Time for first brunch, totally tootin'. Do we know yet? Yes, check the pinned comment. Tomorrow, 15 GMT. Okay, I'm in a game. We're gonna check the pics. Okay, yes, it works. Yes, when someone mistypes, we will get the command. Yes. All right. Look a bit tired today? Do I? Might just be the change in some of the lighting I've done. Feeling pretty good today. I had both my coffees this morning. The hair looks fresh, does it? I need to get a haircut soon. This is my super long Twest needs a haircut phase. What are the chances that on a reverse Acropolis a Nessie will make an appearance? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I should add a Nessie to reverse Acropolis. Alright, let me add notes to myself. Notes. Add Nessie to reverse Acropolis. Make decision for Monaco. Every map should have a Nessie. Should we put Nessie in Arabia ponds? I mean, this map doesn't have ponds. We'll just have to put Nessie under TCs. So, pre-mill drush from Ozone, Berbers against the Byzantines. Oh, we should do Rage Arena, and underneath the TCs, I'll put Nessie. You don't see tiredness, you see ruthless aggression. What was just clipped? So Hera in the blue, he'll be aware of the drush. Yes, he will. Walled up for the most part. Terriers with the hard to pronounce U umlaut. Gonna have a haircut for the next couple of years. It's so cold outside. I don't want to make an unnecessary trip to the barber shop to get a haircut. This is winter hibernation time. You know what I could also do? I could also add Nessie to Acropolis, but I could do it very rarely. Well, like, I'll add her only 10% of the time to the pond in the middle. And then that will really throw people for a loop. Oh, I like that idea. I like that idea. It's like 0, I'm in New Jersey, and it is 10 degrees here. 10 degrees with the proper measurement system of Fahrenheit. And Hera will wall with houses and build the house enough that the men-at-arms don't get in. Will we have arson? No arson from Ozone. And that house will go up. The other house near it also will go up. And we will have horse collar for Ozone on the way. Hello, G-Grady. How you doing? Typo in title? Is there a typo in the title? What is the typo? Oh, casted. Casting. Thank you. Writing is difficult. Am I getting a big bout of snow this coming weekend? I have heard that. People have told me that. I haven't checked the weather report. We just had snow and I had to shovel my car out yesterday. So I would like not having more snow, but perhaps we indeed will. More farms going up for Ozone around this TC. We'll have double bid axe on the way for Ozone. And if someone could keep an eye on the Captain's Mode website and let me know if this TTL set will have a civ draft soon, that'd be appreciated. As well, a few skirms for Hera coming forward from the range. I'll have to ask Hera if he's enjoying the quieter TC sounds. I made him a mod where I made TC's docks and the formation buttons quieter. And he said the TC still needed to be even more quiet. So I turned it down a tiny bit, even more. Hello, Maesty. Oh, US Southern folk are getting us Southern folk are getting a winter storm this weekend. Ooh, interesting, interesting. Well, I hope you are prepared. I know my friends in North Carolina tell me that they see one snowflake and the entire state shuts down. When is 17 GMT? 1 minute from now, Bombay. Gypsy, 1 minute from now. They will surely draft. And then we'll get into TTL. And, you know, Stark is a player where I have hopes that he will draft closed maps. And thank you, BirdPerson3, for the follow. Oh, man, we are so close to 15K followers. Pretty much Tennessee as well. Oh my gosh, between the ad alert and the pinned message alert. People feel temperatures differently. 0F is a temperature range a large majority of the Earth doesn't even get close to. In 4 years of Sweden, you've not seen 0. Really? I see negatives here all the time. Yeah, that's the... You get 4 seasons when you live in Jersey. You get your changing leaves in the fall, your allergies in the spring, your sub-zero temperatures in the winter, and your 100-plus triple-digit temperatures in the summer. Bird person, is that Emu? Is that Emu Warrior with an alt account? Oh, wait, Ozone. Do you realize you're open? Okay, you've scattered that you're open. You should see that you're open. He's not fully walled. And honestly, you might want to wall not there, but out here to make sure that the stone stays safe. minus 10 Celsius in Poland, which never happens.
A little
That does sound pretty cold. I guess that's probably around 0F. Minus 40, if I recall, is where they coincide. 0 and is 32, so minus 10 should be, I guess, around 0. And 0F is minus 18.
Azul.
Okay, so then slightly warmer than 0 still. So Lions going for the spear. And they want to munch on him. Get some munches in. And he survives at 5 HP. Calculated from Hera. Skirm saved the spear. What are Berbers supposed to do here? Vil fight and douche? Hera's lost to that before. I guess you don't want to douche Byzantines, though, because they have more HP on their TC, even in the Dark Age. 10%.
Azul.
And Arson on the way for Ozone. Is Ozone just going to go Siege Tower Longswords?
A little Hatamanik.
Arson for 3-4 men-at-arms. What is this? What is this IQ, this high IQ play from Ozone? Arson with 4 men-at-arms, more on the way, on his way up to the Castle Age. Going double barracks longswords against the Byzantines. Heresies both barracks. Did Ozone forget? Did he play so many Korean mirrors that he forgot he's not the Koreans and was going to go Fire Lancers? And was like, oh no, I just have longswords? Well, the Vils are forward for what will likely be a forward siege workshop and siege towers. Yeah, could put the longswords in siege towers. Remember, this is the ranked ladder. Nilly has no authority to minus 100 for siege towers here. And there is the forward workshop. There we are. There we are. Workshop has the men-at-arms come in. 5 men-at-arms on one side, 3 on the other. Skirm defense. Longsword finished. Arson is in. Chainmail armor. Squires. Now, they don't have gambesons, though. Actually, without gambesons, skirms will wreck longswords. They'll do 2 damage instead of 1 damage. So Hera is fine to pump skirms and defend here. He's gonna go stables, though. So what is he gonna do then? Knights? Camels as Byzantines? Yeah, there's the siege tower. Oh wow, minimap scrolling. And I'll try to get through that palisade, but rewalling from Hera. What's UX? I think UX is the rebranding of Darkside after the m0re incident. Longsword's going through the houses. Barbers versus busy teens. Yeah, we'll be knights from Hera. Doing armor for them. Honestly, would have just done elite skirm. And then you elite skirm versus longsword. Is this going to be enough longswords? 9 of them. Against the extra HP of the Byzantines TC. Got an extra 720 HP there compared to a normal TC. So this is quite tanky. Not quite Persian's level, but very tanky now. Too much delay on pop. Maybe every time you garrison in a siege tower, you lose 1 elo. It is best of 5, and I think they're simply using the draft from the weekend for it. And now forging, Ozone going full longsword siege tower. I think Hera has a defense for this with the knights. You can put villagers in siege towers, yes. They do not speed it up, though. Villagers do not increase the speed, only infantry units. Now, does Darkside still have a few players? I know Ozone used to be Darkside Ozone, I think. And I realized that I suddenly had followed them already on Instagram when I didn't follow them, which makes me think it was a renamed account from someone else. Maybe Dark Side is just players who didn't change their clan tag, as Knights will probably have to turn around. Oh, don't mangonel your own longswords, Ozone. Ozone! You won the fight and then bam, mangonelling your own. Oh, don't do it again. Don't do it again. Arjiden, both the longswords. And here comes up the scariest moment for a brief lag spike. And the siege tower rolls in. Oh, it's a rebranding of Combi. Okay then, okay then. Rebranding of Combi. Okay, that would make sense too. That would make sense too. Alright, so it's not Dark Side then. It's some players might have swapped around. Okay, yeah, that actually makes sense based on who's on the roster. Ozone mangonelled his own ram. Ozone, you gotta attack ground instead of right-clicking if you're ramming. Oh no. Oh no. Well, to be fair, he's still doing decently against Hera's Knights, but Hera pulling ahead in the boom. And Hera with 3 TCs now. Byzantine's very good at defending, and he'll pick off the monks. And he'll also pick off the mangonel and maybe another monk. Yeah, the monk goes down. He's going to clean all this up with his knights. And 15-kill lead. I think this is just about over. See if Ozone calls the GG, and yeah, he does. So, perfect. Just in time for some TTL. So let's go see if we have a draft this time. Background gone wrong. Let's go see if we have a draft. Ooh, I do see drafts. Stark and m0re. We have 2 drafts. So let me just update the titles. TTL Silver, m0re versus Stark. Twitch title. Is there a best of 3? There is a play all 3. And let me show you the drafts for a moment. As I said, I'll be working on scenes once I have a break from map scripting. We'll have Stark. Yes, he goes for a closed map. He picks Zimbabwe. m0re, he picks High Tides, and the first map will be Stranded. For Civs, we have Dravidians, Lithuanians, Berbers, Saracens, and Malay for Stark, Cumans, Persians, Byzantines, Maya, and Huns for m0re. So I'm going to take a very quick break before we start this, and they should be in-game hopefully in just a moment, if they're not already. Wait, let me just double-check if they're in the game. They might be. Oh, they are. Oh, they started 5 minutes ago. Never mind, I won't take a quick break. They have started. I'll just jump into it. Alright, so m0re will be purple. Let's put Stark in cyan. We'll go purple, cyan, and that'll be much easier to see on water than blue. We could go red-blue, but I like this color. Very close in elo, 16 points apart. So m0re will be the purple Huns to the north. They get the Hunnic horse on this map for picking up all the water buffalo. Stark will be the Dravidians to the south. I'll put him in the cyan. And he will be going for the very quick dock on the Nomad start. This is Stranded, having a lovely beach party over by the fires. I fixed the map so that the relics always spawn, and I think I actually like the way I position the relics now more than I did previously. I went through, and the problem was I only checked several dozen generations previously. This time I checked several hundred generations to ensure the relics spawn. And this is TTL Silver, and Capture Age had better save my text when I type TTL. Side head nodding music. Hello, pretty big lumber camp watch. So yeah, different TC locations. M0re going for a tiny forest. Stark going for the big forest and the gold. Some different TC options. Beautiful animal, sad to kill it. Wait, what? Oh, he killed the horse. He killed the horse. Somehow. Must have killed the hunted horse. I'm sad. Are you running to the TC there? Oh, hello. Lawns, baskets, lawns. Where's my YouTube chat? There we are. An elephant killed by the TC, and down it goes. M0re lost the horse. And lumber camp for Stark, that'll be his second building for clicking up. Can skip the mining camp if he has the TC on the gold. May want not to skip the mill though, because he may need the market if he wants to FC. I have seen this as an FC map, and I think Huns could struggle late game against Dravidians, against elephant archers. Skirm elephant archer could be interesting, but the hunted horse for collecting buffaloes, we have 6 buffaloes there, no buffaloes for Stark, no scouting for Stark. And M0re will be up first, 4 fishing ships to 6. So Stark going for a bigger fish boom. Might need to start moving the docks around the island to go for the corners and get more fish. Booming into a food unit is hard on this map, though that is a very good point. On this map, I tend to see very low populations and aggressive skirmishers in early imp. If it gets to imp even, late castle play sometimes. And booming into elephant archers indeed is difficult. Maybe less so if you keep your fish alive. So feudal age on the way for M0re, as we'll have some militia in the barracks being trained and ready to come forward. So it will be men-at-arms from M0re. I think it is a bit tricky to go for feudal aggression on this map with how compactly walled the bases can be. The TC protects everything. But here, maybe M0re can destroy a house. You could see men-at-arms with arson on top of the hill. Was there more wood in the middle? Yes, there is. It is less maze-like now, but also this is the same wood I used in Wandering Warriors Cup, or at least very similar to it. So if there were more mazy middles, or at least I think it is. It's the same I used in Cartographers. It's probably slightly different, but it's the same idea. For having big and small wood lines that avoid each other, so we have less of a maze-like passage and more ability to walk cleanly. Can you destroy a dock with arson? Probably not with the threat of demos. Rush never stops. Well, it does stop if you add in archers or skirms, and that's what we're having here. Skirms from M0re. Arms along the coastline, not finding any damage. Is the middle relic missing again? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relics. I fixed that. We're on version 2 of the map. And unfortunately, I checked several dozen generations, and that was not enough to catch the missing relic. So now I rewrote my relic code. I'm more happy with it, and I also checked several hundred generations, so hopefully we're good. Yeah, exactly, James. That's what I feel. That men-at-arms with the vills by the TC is a bit hard to pull off, although if you do follow it up with a tower rush, as we're seeing here from M0re, you then can force those vills perhaps away from the TC. Just FC. Well, I think we're going to see a lot of FCs on this map, baskets. I think it's a good FC map. I think you have options to do it with the fish boom. I would, though, like to see at some point in a second dock. The men-at-arms were on the coastline looking for dock bills. So skirms forward, the tower is up, and the men-at-arms about to break through that house. What does the tower cover? Quite a bit of that wood line. Would cover even more if it were to get fletching. Is there not a script? Nope. There's no headless way to generate maps without the game. The best I can do is have an auto clicker repeatedly click the generate map button in the editor. I could save a whole bunch of scenarios with an auto hotkey script and then run a Python script to parse the scenarios and check them, but that generating enough maps quickly enough. Usually I can check them in the editor as long as I have a proper setup in the map script for checking them. And Gooey Fungus, thank you very much for the sub.
This way, Attila. Follow.
How did I get my role as a map editor? Years ago, when we did Escape Gaming tournaments, or Zero Empires just messaged me one day, and he needed someone to help with tournaments, so I helped organize, I think it was a battle for Angkor when the Rajas came out, because I was in the beta for that. I think he probably asked Residence 22 for people to help with tournaments, so he messaged me. And as we did more tournaments, we needed map scripts, and I just started doing them. And then over time I did more. And since I was a programmer, I had written some tools to do map scripts and to automate some of the processes we needed back then. Where are m0re's fires? Let's see, I clicked them. That was useless. One of them's over here. The men-at-arms are going for the dockville of Stark, so Stark wanted another dock to keep moving around with fish, but the men-at-arms will force that ville away and kill the villager. On the outside, here comes another fire, so m0re moving around both sides on the outside. And with that tower on the hill, he will force Stark into some mangonels. Mangonels, again, pretty safe under the TC, but they are at least downhill. And it is still Castle Age versus Feudal Age, so m0re committing to Feudal with Scouts. Committing to Feudal with Scouts, he's going to have more time in Feudal by adding more Scouts and spending more food. But, because of his aggression on the water, how much he's disrupted Stark already. He can continue fishing and have all that extra food. Pretty much forced to, yep. And the tower will crumble. Down it goes to the mangonels. Clutching armor. And can the mangonels hit the scouts? No, they can't. m0re's dodging. m0re's dodging. You don't like FC in this map. Well, it certainly can be punished by the tower. All of your wood is forward. And Stark, with an FC, losing the fish. He has, let's see, 7 fishing ships to 4. So I guess m0re hasn't invested too much into his own fish, as much as he has the disruption. And now here come the scouts. Will they jump the mangonels with all those crossbows? Split on the skirms. Will the crossbows protect the mangonels? One goes down. 2 scouts left. Another scout from the stable. And, ooh, pulls back just a bit too early. But the mangonel does go down, though. All the skirms, though, for m0re, killed by the crossbows. And now Stark looks like he's maybe in a position to push. m0re had come forward for a lumber camp. And has to worry about that wood line now if crossbows come forward. First levy is a prerequisite to cartography. Sure, I can see my YouTube viewers. There we go. And crossbows maybe hitting the scout. And Osaw on the way for Stark. Fire galley fight in the south. Bill wants some repairs. And yeah, m0re not going up anytime soon. Indeed, indeed. Disrupting the fish more and more, though. And he does have a good 11-ville lead, 12-ville lead. But here come the crossbows. Crossbows getting in on the wood line. Stark being careful not to run into the TC. And to pick off a couple of vills. Vill on the forward farm. That vill needs to go to the back farm. And ooh, he will be taken out to pasture by those crossbows. And bloodlines in the stable. Will bloodlines come in as the mangonel attacks? The scouts from more would love to have bloodlines before fighting crossbows, or before fighting anything. 20 seconds away. And ooh, they find some vills. Bloodlines, did that finish? No, it did not finish. So no bloodlines for more, but he's in a position where he could go up soon. Stable in the back. If he had a market, he could buy his way up, but no market yet. And no market, no castle age. Opting for a stable, maybe that stable needed to be a market. So quick gate, nicely done for more. And another quick gate on the other side by the dock. So Storm's OP, killing even crossbows. And, oh, actually, never mind, not killing the crossbows. One crossbow remains. There's the market. So panic market for more. As Stark moves in with Mangonel, Stark putting the aggression on. And down 11 vills he needs to. See some weak vills out there, but the vills are going to decide they've had enough. And they will fight the crossbow until the skirm comes over. Yeah, those crossbows indeed did work. This one's still alive. Finally a scout out. But there's bloodlines. There's bloodlines. And things sped up slightly, I think. Let's see, we're up to... We're not up to the castle age yet for more. Oh gosh, he used... What? Stone? Wait, what? Nope, he's just gonna call it GG. Alright, he is way too far behind, and Stark managed to defend the pressure. The Mangonel Stark did were the right call. Managed still to have his fish alive on the water. And Stark, gotta remember to give him the point now. Is ahead. So GG. And let's see, military 43 to 15 KD. Beautiful. Even though more and more resources, the KD insane for Stark. Okay, so let me, as they get into their next game on the High Tides, I'm just gonna show the draft screens again. And I do need to run to the bathroom before the game. Let's win for the Dravidians, loss for the very... Surprised Hunter's that low picked. But here are the drafts. I will be back in a moment. All right. We're back. We need mods. What do we need? Mods. Oh god. Is Jan Chess thinking this is Danny's chat and pasting into the wrong chat. Alright, so here we go. High Tides game number 2. And I'll put Stark and Cyan again. We'll keep the same colors. And Great 3 will start in the Dark Age. I can go to the bathroom between games and not miss anything. High Tide, so we'll see how quickly the players go to dock. We'll have more as the Persians heading up to dock and docking the right side of the top island. So we're there at real time, we're there at real time. Docking the right side of the island and a house going up for Stark. Hello, White Knight. Oh, poor Jan Chess. I love Basket saying that the drush never stops again as Basket's getting in on the copy pastas. So house for more. So one thing I did on this map was I roughly balanced the wood lines so each half of the map has the same number of wood lines. There is some crossover in the middle and they're not always going to be equally distributed. Some will be more back or more forward. I also made a change last night where I balanced the golds. And we have golds distributed to the left and to the right of this corner down here. And we shouldn't have that situation where imagine this gold was over here by that crocodile. And all 4 were basically on one half. So that's more balanced. Stark going for a dock in the north. I also earlier balanced the fish around the starting island, so those should be fairly even. Lots of little just micro adjustments to maps that I think I'll be making as we see things. Stark has fished all the fish that the Vil can carry, and since the Vil is walled in, he's got nothing to do, and Stark needs to go realize that and build the dock. There he goes. Yeah, High Tide seemingly fairly popular so far. Seems to be quite popular indeed. Persians are so strong, we'll need to get creative, I think. We'll see. I mean, if Lithuanians get relics, and the relics are in fairly fixed positions on this map, you know where they are, then Lith can do pretty well. Both players pumping out fishing ships. The Persians already a 2 fishing ship advantage. Map is a Lithuanian's magnet. He may drush. You never know when someone might drush on this map or go men-at-arms. We have seen very effective men-at-arms so far. Yeah, I do want to keep the relics balanced and even. I didn't come up with a great way to make them random with how fixed the map is, so maybe that's an aspect to improve in the future. I really do like the importance of scouting and finding relics rather than keeping them fixed. But every map is a bit different, so some maps with fixed relics maybe have their own type of variety. Letis or Savar? I think that the Lechai win that, especially if they have the relics. So our purple Persian player will be scouting, seeing that Stark has a walled wood line. TTL has started, yes, it started last Friday officially. TTL Silver. And oh, more, look at him go, trying to wall in Stark's Shorefish Vil. You can wall the Vil in, you stop him from doing more docks, but that plan will backfire as Stark brings over his scout, and Moore's Vil will be killed by the scout, and Stark's Vil, will he wall himself in? He will Alcatraz himself at the last second with 2 HP left. 2 HP is all you need. 1 HP is all you need, and he is twice that. Calculated, and he'll just have to live forever in those palisades. Could maybe replace this palisade with a gate and then try to go forward. Oh wait, but his scout's over. The scouts have equal HP. They're both feudal. And time for a scout fight. That Vil still not walled in? Yeah, you can walk around. So still better for Stark with his villager. But it is dock time. Faster working Persian's dock does not queue a fire galley right away because man-at-arms is the upgrade of choice for more, and he will be standing atop a hill, and those militia now clubbing at the house, whacking it with their clubs, And now, as they become men-at-arms, they now have proper swords with which to attack the side of the house. Vil there has to repair, and more as the Persians would have access to arson. Scout fight looks like Stark is winning, no surprise with his villager, but a hill bonus all of a sudden for more. And 6 versus 7 hit points.
سلام.
More has to run from the dock as the fire comes out. Oh, Stark could lose the Vil. That Vil needed to attack the scout, and it didn't. And that Vil will die, so Stark loses his Vil. He was maybe concerned a bit with the men-at-arms. Maybe not. He's just repairing. Mill goes up on the berries now for more. This feels like he's struggling a bit on the water. We'll get a bit of a lag spike. Thank you, internet. And the fires go to chase the other fire galley. Fish on shore fishing super far from the dock. Demo on the way. That might just be to snipe fishing ships. Stark looking pretty efficient with his build so far, but down 3 Vils, 27 to 23. That's the Persians TC for you. Not much of an idle time difference there, just the Persians difference. Is there a cost difference between Paladin and Savar? The upgrades have a different cost. I don't think the units have a different cost. Need a good stretch in the morning. So the barracks losing a bit of HP as the men-at-arms run in. The scout goes down, and the Vils turn to fight. A weak Vil still in the fray by the lumber camp, but the men-at-arms will turn around, try to get the help of their own archer, but maybe just be more trapped by a Stark's archer. Oh, Stark, you didn't take one of your rhinos. Hello there. What's that rhino doing over there? Map wasn't like bugged where you had to chop through to the rhino, wasn't it? I don't see any. Okay. You just didn't take a rhino. Interesting. Yeah, the Safar upgrade is cheaper. 100 food, 150 gold cheaper. And Paladin's very expensive. It's not like Safar is cheap, but every little bit helps. So these men-at-arms fought down, but getting a Vil, getting an archer pick too, as they will force Stark off of the gold. Demo going for fish. Ooh, tries to split the difference and get 2, but the greed means it gets a neither. But another demo might be more effective there. Yeah, rhino in the fridge for a rainy day. Yeah, the Persian's eco also helps. That's true, that's true. And Agent Paladin, thank you for the follow. Now we just need Agent Savar. And Agent Chalot Warrior.
Ari. Farman. Amade.
I'm gonna need a third coffee today. So Archer's here for more. Stark not walled, might be able to hit the berries if Stark doesn't see them. Stark is a very weak Vil out there, only 3 HP. It does feel as though Stark has won the water rather convincingly. Now, I have seen games on this map where winning the water means you don't win the game. It, at least in the current balance, can sometimes be not all that snowbally, where winning the land still is more important. But here we'll go, Villager. Or no, okay. So, more maybe not checking the HP there. We go, sniped off the Vil. Agent 1 HP Scout. Second coffee, yes, but what about third coffee? As well, these archers must have drank 3 coffees, because Moore is microing them like a beast and picking off all of Stark's army. Look at them go! Still 2 left, and they will harass the gold. Hello, Agent Paladin. Welcome in. Welcome in. Have everyone say hello. Spam the flowers in the chat. Spam your flower emotes.
Sveiki. Aš pasiruošęs.
So double gate from Stark, and that will buy him just enough time.
Taiva väliä.
And archer goes down. Archer goes down. Double gates were perfect. Hello, Pompous Knight. Oh, look at all those different flowers. Does War Elephant ever see use? Occasionally. Occasionally you see War Elephants.
Amade.
Very occasionally, but occasionally. So, more. Pressuring with archers and up to the Castle Age first. Persian economy is no joke. And even though he lost the water, he's up to the Castle Age first. Big fan of your work? Well, thank you very much. Coming by the chat.
Ari. Farman.
Why no more Teutonic Knight? That costume was very uncomfortable with the helmet. And we did hit the chicken cosplay goal too, but I think I'll do the chicken maybe for casting Red Bull tomorrow again. So I feel like I didn't get enough chicken done just with one TTL set.
Ari. Farman.
And hello, Panky. A dock being hit by a fire galley, Castle Age on the way, gold mining, double bit axe coming in for more. And that's 2 ranges and a stable for him. Persians. Ooh, with the stable, maybe this is cav archers. What's up, a hot cow? Yeah, that's how millennials do it. That's how. I think other generations do different hearts. They find different numbers funny. Love to see Paladin versus Safari late game. I'm sure you'd love to see that as long as the Paladins win.
Äsch pasiruošęs. Klausau.
As long as Stark here collects those relics. Also has to be careful, he doesn't have any farms because of his water control, which means the TC isn't going to stop crossbows from walking through. It's a good thing these are gates and not walls if the crossbows get through. He can flee through the gates he built. Oh, that's amazing. He did double palisade gates to wall off, finished them, and used them as gates. That's great. That's great. Using your gates as gates. Has the Red Bull ladder finished? The ladder has finished, but we have a one-set playoff tomorrow at 15 GMT between Hart and Vinch. They are exactly tied, so we'll have a special extra set. It's a bit spooky that fish runs out that quickly. Yeah. I mean, look at the way he's fishing. There are still fish out there, of course, but is it enough with only 9 fishing ships that 0 farms is the play? I mean, compare that to 16 farms over here for m0re, and I think m0re's eco is far more balanced than Stark's is. Even has more villagers, more eco units, despite the fact that's 47 to 33 villagers. Freaking Persian's economy. Now it's safe draft, now it's safe, and it's Korean mirror. Yes. So houses coming up for Stark. He'll have to sacrifice that stone to wall and make sure the crossbows don't get through the palisade. He needs another house foundation. Is negative in 3? Oh, less than 3. That's the backwards bracket notation for excluding the 3 from the interval. Yeah, we will have a game through regardless. This is play all 3. But now with scale barding armor on the way, I think all that m0re has to do is dive the TC, and Stark dies. Yeah, Stark going for a panic TC. Yeah, he does have a few skirms. Maybe I'm being a bit overzealous there. Yeah, skirms come forward. Hello, Princess Lavivi. How are you doing?
Ari. Amade.
Crossbows forcing the skirms back. Skirms getting some kills on the crossbows. Knight's still running around. His base does look fairly barren. And so he is still controlling the water, cleaning up the dock. His fishing ship's moving to shorefish, though, and these fishing ships are not all that efficient anymore. You see, m0re actually has 2k more res collected, all thanks to that Persian's town center. 2 of them now outbooming Stark. So devotion on the way for m0re. devotion. He's gonna be devoted against Stark's monks. He saw the monastery. Do vills gather faster from shorefish than fishing boats do? And see, I don't know why Capture Age blurs out the stats when I can just check them in game. Let me check that real quick. So fishing ships, 16.8. Vill 25.8. So yes, vills collect faster from shorefish than fishing ships do, apparently. According to when I click on them in game. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what happens. Yeah, Persian docks do last eternities, and this one is no different. Actually, we have a fire on the water still for more. If that were a fire ship, maybe it'd be more useful. So Stark with the monks. Monks have proven an adequate defense for him. Oh, thank you for gifting us up to Jan Chess. Thank you.
Attila, that boar would have killed me had you not intervened. Pity that none will ever learn of your loyalty. Archers, attack!
You mean the set of x such that negative x is greater than or equal to 3 as well? Okay, okay. Freaking Valletta. There's the fire galley. Fire galley comes around. We'll find this one that goes down. There we go. Not X. That's a not symbol? What is not X?
Ari,
Is that just defined as negative X? Or is that saying X is not greater than 3? Is that supposed to be around... I don't know where that's applied. Hello, Magnet Mood. Yeah. I think that there need to be some parens in there.
Farman,
So husbandry and bloodlines on the way for more. Still wants to take a fight, but now Stark's gotten a good number of skirms in defense, and we all know Skirmisher is the best unit in the game. More used to drawing horizontal bars over logic expressions.
Ari, Amade,
Yeah, that's a good one. You use your juxtaposition for ands, you use your pluses for ors, and then you horizontal bar for negation. Best unit is the monk. These are the two best units in the game, the skirms and the monks, other than the fire lancers. And the monks are getting a couple of conversions. The TC does not have any bills inside of it. And the knights are running into the back. Now I'm starting to feel that I need the third coffee. Knights getting into the stables. What is that? 3 stables from Stark? 3 stables. Monk's bad? I have not seen that streamer. No. Don't worry, no one noticed. You're good. I hope not. You noticed I'm tired. I was up late scripting the maps for this last night and trying to fix them in time for today. So just for all the sets to get canceled or rescheduled. So Knights here, low HP, falling apart. And Janchess, thank you for gifting us up Bombay Gypsy.
This way, Attila. Follow.
And now all those fishing ships that Stark had on the water, he's losing them. And all those farms that he didn't add, he's had to add back here. Coffee is good. Come on, Letus. Well, we need those paladins for Agent Paladin, right? We need the game to go long enough that we get there. And, well, for our purple Persian player, we have clicked up to Imp, so 1 player on the way. Yeah, relic time still? Let's see, 1 relic already for Stark. He grabbed the one in the south. This one and this one still in his territory. This will be hard. That'll be hard to grab. He needs more to be housed for a long time so that the monk doesn't pop out and grab it. But I think 3 of the 4 remaining relics should be grabbable for Stark, and he will be grabbing one right here. Thoughts on automata theory? I don't know if I have any particular thoughts on it. It's a fun thing to learn. It's more fun when you start applying category theory to it. And okay, 3rd relic for Stark. 3rd relic for Stark. Thoughts on Limbao theory? I hope everyone with all the Limbao stuff knows all about their limit supremums and infimums. And oh, the monk healing. The knight's just passing. They'll turn and snipe the monk. Stark saying, hey, I'm Lithuanians. Leave that relic out there for me. And now 98 to 91 Vils. Stark, yeah, he's down in eco, but he's Lithuanians. And how many relics does he have? He has 2. He will have 3. 3rd on the way.
Ari.
Do you think players ever miss when the other one is up to the next stage due to the score drop? I'm sure that players sometimes are surprised, but for the most part, I think even if you don't look at the score drop, you can probably feel when they're up. So Cavalier on the way. So yay, Cavalier. One step closer to Paladin. Yes. One step closer to Paladins, as we'll have a big fight with Knights. Knights getting Iron Casting. These will be fully upgraded Lithuanian Knights with 3 relics. So they will actually have, what would that be? More attack than the Cavaliers. 20 less HP, but more attack. And they will have the hill. And Stark pouring in more and more Knights. Does Stark win this fight from the hill? Does he win it? I think he does. I think he does. I think he wins. Yeah, it's good. He has more Knights. He's going to win this. He's going to win against the Cavaliers, getting the good patrol stack. And yes, he is winning. Lithuanians, OP, staying in the Castle Age. They don't need Imp. What he does need, though, is to grab that relic before the castle goes up so he gets +4. Or maybe he just grabs this one. Still not letting m0re take it. And that was a decisive victory for the Lithuanians now that Stark grabbed those relics. Hope we have a bit of lag, but that's just maybe the game not believing what it just saw, as the Castle Age player has cleaned up all the Cavaliers. He won because of the skirms, of course he won because of the skirms too. And now he can get a Latus. And where are his monks? He has 1 more monk, and he's going for it. He's going for that final relic. He's gonna get 4. Well, not the final relic, there still is a 5th down there. But he will grab the 4th relic needed to supercharge these Lithuanian Knights in Lechai. Look at that Cavalier queue. He's got more Cavaliers in the queue. That's true, that's true. Let's counter Cavaliers. And they're in. The gate doesn't go up in time. Ooh, and m0re is struggling now. It felt like he had done what he needed, the bigger eco and the earlier imp. But Stark turning this extended Castle Age around into his favor, picking off Vils under the TC. Don't see Stark going imp anytime soon, but he's going to have some amazing raids. St4rk versus Latus. Ooh, we might get there, but I don't think that m0re will be able to afford St4rk anytime soon. Look at all this damage he's taking from the raids. As that's happening, more Knights start coming around. They'll find some of these southern Vils, and they will hope for an overchop. They will hope for an overchop where they can run through too. And in the meantime, I might want more Vils. And Stark, yeah, the one thing that Stark can't do at this point is go up to Imp very easily, because he'll need to stop Knight production. However, the Persians, what can they do against Knights? They can do Camels. Camels, though, less armor. Well, I guess that doesn't matter against the Lechai. Tricky to use the survivability of Camels with less HP than the Cavaliers still. We get Citadels in yet? Commander in Citadels? No, no unique techs for the Persians. Not yet. And the Knights for Stark, they are walled out. What a house that is, with some stone gates behind the palisade. More... He's open, though. He's open. Houses went down. And the Knights and those Lechi are in. And Stark manages to do it. He manages to click up. Yeah, this has been a fun back and forth game. As Basket says, I think m0re still has a chance if he gets enough camels out. He has heavy camel on the way. And then if he gets heavy camel, he can hold. But still, it's tricky with the +4 relics. These things have 19 attack and they ignore armor. But still not enough. They do get cleaned up by the camels. Bonus attack for camels against Cav. Pays off here. It is +9 against Cav. +9. Well, not as good for raiding, but right now m0re isn't raiding. He's holding and he is quick walling. And look at that. He knew one gate would go down, so he does another gate and gets more vills on it. The quick wall skills from m0re. m0re wants another castle forward, but won't have the ability to get there. His vills won't stand up to the Lechi. And now we will have squires, as it looks like Stark wants to go for a halb switch once he's up. Stark is from Brazil, yes. Yes, Raphael. Stark indeed is from Brazil. And Stark, aware of the extra resources on the map, he wants a castle in the south. m0re also wants a castle on the exact same spot, and he will send the vills there only to find Stark already is occupying the area. Oh no, he hasn't even scouted the... Oh, now he sees it, Ah, there's Stark up to the Imperial Age. And we'll have iron casting from m0re. As the vills start to go down. Oh no, he's sending his vills right to the castle. He hasn't realized and stopped them. Oh no. He's sending a village right into Stark's castle. Well, he's got 152 vills. I would say he has more to spare, but he will call the GG. He will call it. As he's afraid of Stark's imp now. Oof. You know, I think he sees the castle in the map control. Oh my gosh, look at this. The castles? The purple and the cyan castle in Capture Age, the foundation is slightly transparent and it blends the colors together. Oh, I've never seen that. Wait. Oh yeah. Look at the color blending as we change the color. Purple and cyan made a great blue though for a moment. Yeah. Wow. All right. That is lovely. That's cute. He had too many vills anyway. You're right. This might just be the old back on Voobly when they never turned on shift delete. That's how you deleted your vills. You found an enemy castle and you just sent them towards it. But Stark goes up 2-0 and still has his home map left. Yeah, he saw the color blending and was like, oh no, my opponent is not just cyan, he's also blue. And 30 more kills for Stark. Huge eco lead for m0re, but going imp and letting the Lithuanians push in the Castle Age. You can see the army counts where Stark had the stronger army with the relic control. And held on. Did some great raiding with the extra investment. Yeah, Stark does not mess around. So let me open up the drafts once more. And that was m0re losing high tides. Lithuanians winning over Persians. And that means our final map will be Zimbabwe. So m0re gets added to the bat. Jan Chess looking for a ban. Not liking cyan. What's this jokester doing in the chat not liking cyan? How could you not like the best color? Oh gosh, I'm just scrolling through Twitch streams and I see Tato is playing Forest Nothing. You mean teal? You mean aqua? It's also called aqua in the game. So let's just see for a moment. They're in their lobby in the game. You don't see them. I hope they know it's play all 3 and they didn't just go AFK because they think it's over. Because I don't see them anywhere. I want to seed Zimbabwe. Oh, there was a re. There was a re. Okay, why was there a re, Happy Leaves? I didn't see that. What was the re for? Do I have to go fix the map? Hello, Marintho. Yes, I'm trying to figure out why there was a re. Did they pick civs wrong? Dashboard says more called the game. Maybe not a re. More called GG. Wait, what happened? Did he lose? I mean, Zimbabwe is a map where they, in theory, could try to lure elephants and lose vills in the first 3 minutes. And it's been building up to a game of Zimbabwe, and I don't see it on the dashboard now. And maybe Happy Leaves can clutch us out with the wreck. I don't see it. It's under history. Okay. 3 minutes. I have a SEC, WC, GLHF, and GG at 112. Alright, so... This is another reason I don't like needing a 2-minute spec delay. Because sometimes we miss wonderful games like this. Let me just put this in my Rex folder there. All right. And now I'm curious, what the heck just happened here? Now let me pause right at the start so we don't miss anything. I mean, I think we're going to get some clowning, just maybe not of the nature we expected. So, yeah, Marintho's here. Marintho's the original author of Zimbabwe. One thing I did for TTL was I gave it, it has 2 rotations now, so it's a 50-50 chance if it spawns this way. You would have seen it where the hill was in the top right and the hunt was in the bottom left in previous versions. So, Marintho already disoriented. Thank you for the straggler trees as well. Oh yeah, I also added 3 acacia trees. I think maybe the map didn't have straggler trees. We played a 9-ville start before on the map, if I recall. I'm forgetting. Stronghold Frenzy was 3 vills, though. Anyway, we will have Stark in the cyan, m0re in the purple, and what is going to happen where m0re will end up calling the GG? And we can watch this slowly. Yeah, let's make sure we don't miss any of the details of this wonderful game. You went the wrong... You went the wrong way. Ah. Well, m0re wasn't prepared for the map then, and he went the wrong way. He's looking for the hunt, but this is the hill. I didn't change it so the hunt was ever in the north. It is always in the south. Well, I guess that explains it. It's always in the south. You'll know by where your base is, what direction it is. Well, faster than Empire Wars. It went the wrong way. Any news on the Vinch match? Vinch and Hart will be played tomorrow at 15 GMT. This was Stark's home map. So... Alright. There we go. Well, look at these stats. Look at all the stats we have. 10 more resources collected for the Berbers, 10 more food. He did explore more of the map. Any more TTL sets today, or is this the only one? This is the only one. There were 2 more sets supposed to be today, but they got canceled. So, okay. There is Zimbabwe. Yeah, he was super far behind on resources. He resigned so fast that the dashboard probably has some filtering out misclicks logic that includes the game. So yeah, scripter win. Also shows that the graphs have some spline smoothing or something. Must have thought they were playing on a different map. He wanted to get the hunt, but he went the wrong way. We can show off though. We'll look in game for a moment at what the map looks like. We look at Zimbabwe. So yeah, the hunt is always to the south. You can generate tons. This map generates so quickly. I like that. I like when maps generate quickly and we don't have to wait minutes. If you look at the mini-map, you'll see the hunt is always to the south. So wherever your base is, you want to leave the gate that's to the south. Like you can always kind of tell where the hunt is just based on where your base spawns. So I don't know, maybe he's just not prepared for the map. That was the game. He's explaining why he resigned into Mate's chat. Can you translate for me then? What decides how quickly a map generates? How long the map script is, and then if you use, there are some map scripting features that make it take longer. In particular, actor area to place in takes a long time. That is probably the slowest feature that you can use. And also the speed of your processor. Yeah, number of objects to place too. Like if you generate Black Forest, it'll take longer because there are more trees. Actor areas. Yeah, it was made for Empire Wars. So when you make a lumber camp, you assign it a number and you give it a radius and you say put the vills in the radius near the lumber camp. It's called an actor area. You give the lumber camp a number called the actor area and then you give it a radius and vills spawn inside the radius. You can also say avoid actor area, and these days maps are filled with dozens, if not thousands, of actor areas and invisible objects to control positioning. So that can slow it down too. But in particular, if you try to do crazy actor area to place in, and I don't know why, it seems like it is needlessly inefficient compared to terrain to place on. I've actually had maps where I've placed tens of thousands of invisible objects and said to avoid them. And that's faster than saying place in a small area. But are there any good excuse for why those vills spawn inside lumber camps and other objects? There are probably ways that you can prevent that. I think it's because they use lots of invisible placeholder objects, and sometimes they don't have collision on properly. If you say place a vill within a radius of the lumber camp, there's no way, there's a hole in the wood line. There isn't a great way to say keep the vill on the outside and don't place it in the hole. Like if there were, let's find a spot. There were a lumber camp here, and you said place vills within 2 tiles of the lumber camp. You could get vills in there, like that. There's no way he ended up getting qualified. I mean, honestly, he played, I think, 2 pretty good games in that set. So sometimes a player's success is also determined by their motivation and mental strength in playing through games. And I've seen a lot of players who are really good players, but sometimes don't mentally get in the zone they need to be in. But yeah, so that's TTL for today. Tomorrow we'll be back. I think I'm gonna go live. I think I'll cast a set of TTL. He was probably annoyed at losing the second game, right? You can set avoid forest zones so they don't spawn in the holes, I think. I think you can, but then it makes it awkward because you don't really want to avoid the forest because you want them to spawn adjacent to the trees on the outside. I'm sure there are things that you can do to prevent that with lots of actor areas and placeholders, but it's also kind of tricky. Has there ever been someone changing a map to their advantage to cheat? I mean, on Voobly days, when you hosted your own lobby, there'd be people who did that, or on HD. But for like a tournament, usually there's a separate person doing the maps than playing in the tournament. Yeah, he said he had the win on the second and let it go. So yeah, you could. I got that impression with the quick resign. Would it help? I've done that in sufficient spec for some things. The problem is if statements in map scripts are very limited. So if you end up doing something even as simple as needing to check multiple conditions, you end up hard coding products, which get very long very quickly. And if you have a map script that's even a few hundred KB, it ends up breaking stuff. You can even see in the menus, if you select the map then try to change player colors, it lags the menu, and it's just not a good experience. So you can do that to a limited effect, and it is useful, but you need to make sure you're using it the right way, because it's very easy to go crazy generating something that then becomes wildly inefficient. And there are more recently the abilities to use some math expressions in map scripts, where I have replaced some of the old static and hard-coded random generation I had done in the past with some more dynamic code in the map that is much shorter and much more reliable, I think, for map scripts. Anyway, well, I guess we're done. It was a 3-hour stream where I didn't cast as much as I thought I would. But that's okay. We'll be back tomorrow, and it will be a long day tomorrow of casting and Red Bull and TTL and me going to the DMV. So thank you all for watching. Maybe I'll have time actually to work on my stream overlays today now. And we'll find someone we can raid. So thank you all. Maybe I'll take a nap too. I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night because I was working on some stuff non-AoE 2 related after fixing map scripts. So yeah, Noob Netrum. Unfortunately, you missed it, but I will see you all tomorrow. And time to give you another heart. Do the heart again. Overlay hype. I have some idea. I also need to get the best of 5 overlay for Red Bull. So I guess I can, like, what do I not need? I don't need that anymore, right? I don't need that. We'll need a scoreboard. So a scoreboard and drafts there. I'll work on that. And for TTL. Yeah, they actually, Rapture just hosted a map scripting competition. We're going to do a show match on it at some point. We're just trying to make sure it doesn't overlap with other stuff. Who is streaming Age right now? Let's see, the other big streamers are not in English. Let's see, Gabby's offline. We'll send a raid over to Memb on Twitch. Is he streaming on YouTube too? We could raid him on YouTube too. Go for the double raid. Let me see if he's on YouTube. Okay, yeah, we'll go for the double raid. We'll raid him on Twitch and on YouTube. So I'll see you all tomorrow at, I think I'll start at 13 GMT. So I'll start before and cast a set of TTL before Red Bull, assuming that it doesn't get rescheduled, because we're supposed to have Kombito versus you pudding at 5 GMT tonight, and that will be midnight, so I'm not awake to cast that, but then I'll cast that in the morning before Heartfinch. So I will see you all tomorrow.